I don't know if I like your tone. It's most challenging. Is that what you're doing, challenging me?
I object to you. I object to intellect without discipline. I object to power without constructive purpose.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Garage. That was the wrong button. Oh. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Sorry. Sorting through some nonsense right now. No, I'm not on the wrong channel, Judy Bug. I'm here. I'm here. Oh, if I go. Okay, you guys are giving me directions here. I'm gonna star that one. Guys, we have a lot of things to go over here today. But I'm here. I'm queer. Get used to it. So yesterday was kind of a wild show, guys. It was a wild show. And we had a very especial guest. But I also wanted to go over, you know, the title of this video is very intentional today. Okay? It's very intentional today. You know, because this disrupt, distract, destroy. Disrupt, distract, destroy. This is the OSA playbook. This is the I'm breaking up any movement playbook. Okay? And Scientology has been very, very successful in the past employing this strategy, you know, through various means, right? And hang on, the way there, I don't know. Okay, I just scratched my head. Whoops, sorry. So what happens if Tony comes back today? Maybe he'll get educated. I know. I happen to know because I got sent a message last night. I was already asleep, but I got sent a message last night from Laura FM, who was told by somebody else who was watching Tony's stuff. Hey, Tony, you know, said something pretty gross about Nora's kid. Of course, he's deleted that. It's not on Rumble. It's not on Twitch. Now, all of his Twitch stuff, if you go to Twitch, I'll show you guys. You can't watch any of his videos now, guys. It's all subscribers only. I wonder why that is, Tony. And no, I'm not going to subscribe to you. Okay. I know you're saying illegal things there, right? And so you're trying to be like, oh, I can just make it subscribers only. You don't want to delete. You can't delete those videos on Twitch. Why? Because you got money. So you're just going to make it subscribers only, right? And I love the title of his video today. This is his live right now. He's still currently live. I was catching up on it just to see. Listen to how he gaslights his own audience here.
So they went into court today. I was in court today. I was there via Zoom.
Via Zoom, of course. Oh, guys, before Tony, nice try though. Let me pull it up here. Where is it? Here we go. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use. Purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All rights and credit go directly to its rightful owners. No copyright infringement is intended. All righty. All righty then. So, here we go. So this is Tony's version of what happened to him today in court.
You know, why would I ride an extra fucking hour? I don't have to.
Why would I ride an extra fucking hour? I don't have to.
I don't have to. It's a stupid fucking thing.
Maybe it's because if he shows up in person, he'll be arrested for all of the violations of his restraining order that Solomon has.
So I said, the judge asked if Scott was willing to do a arbitration or mediation, and he said he didn't think it would be any. I said, absolutely. I'm willing. I'll try anything.
Okay, so he says he's willing to do the arbitration because Scott said, actually, let's do arbitration. Now Tony's saying he's all for it. That's not what he said in court.
And then they're going to try and say that I heard that he said, okay, anyway, I'm going to tell my side here real quick. So then, first of all, his service was bad. Right?
No, you just keep saying you haven't been served. He was served.
Right? So she wasn't going to have the hearing today because he didn't serve me. I agreed to let the court serve me. Fuck it.
No. See, he did not. He did. Let me clarify. He did agree to let the court serve him. First of all, he showed up via Zoom without a lawyer present. Okay, and then tried to bitch and moan about the service and that he never got served and blah 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 blah. Okay, again with all this nobody served me, I didn't know bullshit. And so the court said, okay, well, we can serve you right now. Do you accept the service? And Tony tried to say, oh, no, I need to consult with a lawyer before I accept the service. And she was like, no, we're serving you right now. You're served from the court. Like, the judge was not playing around. Like, you either accept it or you don't, or you can be held in contempt. And Tony was like, well, then I accept the service. Like, it wasn't like he's the gracious one and Scotty doesn't know what he's doing. Tony is trying to pull a rope-a-dope on the judge, on the court system, okay? He's in court with Scott because Scott filed a restraining order against him. So he has the right to respond. He has the right, so he's asked for a continuance because he didn't have his lawyer. He said, during that, he said he has to find a lawyer. So I don't know what that means. Hi, Danny. I don't know if that means that, he is not with his current lawyer. He didn't pay his lawyer. Yes, correct, Amy. Both DOA and Henri have filed restraining orders against Tony. Okay. And, so now DOA suggested to the court, I'd like to go to arbitration to sort this out. The court accepted that. According to this, if Tony tries to say something else, he just said he's going to go to arbitration. During arbitration, you cannot show up via Zoom. That's in person. You have to be mano a mano, face to face. Yeah. So that's a big deal today. Let's see what else he says.
You know what I mean? I agreed to let the court serve me. So Scotty's service was thrown out. Right?
No, Scotty's service wasn't thrown out. That's not what had happened, Tony. And you know that. That's not what had happened.
Right? Now, his service was thrown out, and that's why we have a hearing in January. So,
no, Scotty's service wasn't thrown out. The court said, we're not going to dick around with this anymore. We're serving you right now. The end. No more fucking pussyfooting around. Okay. Yeah. Where is his legal fund going, Hero Light Cody? Yeah, he didn't show up with no lawyer today. He said in court, I have to find a lawyer. Yeah. It's like, let's get Dana on a plane all over again. Which she revealed later, like, look how much we made just trying to get you flown out here. We can make so much money. And she was like, that's not cool.
So now what we do is my lawyer, who now I work, because Scotty is a fucking dummy. Because what I didn't do is I said email the attorney, and, well, let's just say I hadn't retained the attorney yet.
Yeah. He didn't have a lawyer. I haven't retained the attorney yet. All that money you guys gave me, it's totally not being spent on toys for myself.
So maybe I forgot. Oops, I forgot.
You don't, Tony, that's not something you forget. If you're in a legal battle with several parties, the one thing you're not going to forget is retaining a lawyer. Like, I said it yesterday. I don't believe a single thing, that he says. Not one single word. Not one single word.
Like, oh my goodness, I forgot to retain the attorney for this case. Oops, oopsie. So what happened?
Who does he think he's fooling?
Happened was they didn't serve me because they didn't ask the judge, actually. So what I found...
No. They did several times in many different ways, and you have continued to pretend that you don't get served.
And that was that Scott didn't even ask the judge to serve me electronically. He just went with what I said. I thought he got permission from the fucking judge.
No, that's he just says things like it's facts, and then people are like, oh wow, he's so smart.
But
like,
he lied.
no.
He said he went and got permission to fucking serve me electronically. He never got that, and that's what the judge said, because he's a fucking liar. Anyway, so judge gets up, and she was very nice to me. This was Judge. What's up? Thanks, man. This was Judge Ochoa. This was remember, this was the judge that hates me, and she was very nice to me. So what she said was, I said, well, he is named in another case. So she looked to see if it was something that was attachable, because I wanted to mention that Scott is named as a third party in the other case.
So now he's trying to attach cases. Like, what? What? Yeah, Beetlejuice.
In the case that...
I'm sure. Well, let me fast forward, because he's just riding around. I was really scrubbing through. Oh, God, he's in a store again. Is he back on the motorcycle now? Okay, great. Let's just skip to the end here. Let's skip to the live. Because here's the deal. Okay? The title of today's video is very important. I am distracted right now. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Right? So, oh, I guess he ended it. Is that, oh, yeah, he ended it. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, because he's got to get home so that he can quickly, you know, let me just do this. We're going to do this, and we're going to do this, because I want to make sure that I have it for later, you know, before he deletes it off the internet, because he can't delete it unless he's, you know, doing that. So, see, guys, I love this thing. This is my little converter. I mean, Tony, when he's watching me, has ads. Why does he have ads? Because he can't afford $20 a month for YouTube Premium, right? He can't afford to pay for things like that to download his shit or download my shit. So when he tells me that he's now here's the great thing. I'm gonna disrupt, distract, destroy. Okay. So of course Tony did a stream about me last night. And here we go. Let me just play this for you guys, okay? Oh right, I gotta switch it up here. Okay, here we go.
Hold on, I gotta get a little close.
Look what he's doing, guys. Look what he does here.
Sir, because I want to get it really right on your fucking mouth. There we go. There we go. Nora, lesbian. Jerk off on a lesbian.
Literally pretending to jerk off on my face. Like, I think he's like 12. But my favorite part about that is, if you notice carefully, he starts out with his hand like this big, and then he goes to like this big, because that's more accurate. Like, he doesn't. He's just so disgusting. But listen to this here.
I love jerking off on a lesbian. Masturbation. Oh my God, masturbation. No, don't talk about it.
See, I mean, this is real, guys. He did this, and he thought that this was cool, right?
Oops.
Hang on. Oh, look. He's having fun with OBS again.
Wait,
just
let me
doing
check
nothing.
My slide again. Woo! Okay, there we go. That's nice. But this side's gotta come down.
He's just like,
Nora, we saved your. We saved your. We saved your. We saved it.
what is he doing?
We saved it. We saved it. We're gonna look at it tomorrow.
He said like 3 times in this that I deleted the stream from yesterday. She deleted it. Guys, she deleted the stream, but we saved it. No, Tony, you don't have the money for any downloader. Okay? And also, you're full of shit. Like I said, there's nothing that he says out of his mouth that is true. Okay? If you go to my channel, hi, Serge. Serge is also live. and you go to my channel, okay? Let's go to live. Oh, is that the stream from yesterday that's still on my channel? Yet over here, he says, what?
Nora, we're going to do a whole episode. I have a thumbnail for you, Nora.
Oh, I'm excited. No, I
You
don't
look
care.
like a gym coach.
A lesbian looks like a gym teacher. It's a teacher, you fucking idiot. A gym coach.
You could get a job. A gym coach.
I already did that job. See, he just all dead air. Just dead air.
I hope someone comes in and robs your T-Mobile location and kills everyone kills you for a fucking iPhone.
Now, unlike you, Tony, I've actually downloaded this stream, so that threat on my life, that's there for posterity. That I have that. Along with a compilation of all of your other threats against me. That one's going to go in the reel. And, you know, it's right here. Oh, what's this? Oh, is this a hard drive? Yes, it's an external hard drive that I have a folder that's just CDT. Yeah. Unlike you, receipts. Okay, so yeah, Tony, like I said yesterday, you are literally the biggest liar on planet Earth. Nothing you say is true. Not one word that you say is truth. Yes, I do. You are correct. You are correct that I do need a restraining order. You are correct. And that is, you know, I have to figure out how to file that correctly. See, unlike Tony, I'll be honest. I am not a lawyer. I am not trained in such matters. And if I have to travel to Los Angeles to file a restraining order and, you know, stay down there for a bit to, you know, get that heard in the California courts, I will do that. I will absolutely 100% do that. I know I can stay with my mama, which she would love. And yeah, because this man is a menace to society. He did delete that, you know, supposed threat on my child. It's alleged, you know, and, here's what I want to say though, right? Because it is upsetting, obviously. Okay. It's upsetting that this man continues to behave in such an unhinged and diabolically destructive way, right? Towards me, towards Scotty, towards Henri, towards Audit, towards Dan Walks LA, to Hero Like Cody, to Solomon, to Jessica, to Streets, right? To Danny, right? And there's only one purpose in this, okay? And it's not actually to hurt us. Okay. He does take pleasure in that. He does take pleasure in attempts to demean and hurt and you know, cause people emotional pain and mental anguish, right? Like I absolutely 100% believe that brings him joy in life. Okay. However, there is a 0% chance that he is not being paid by an external source to commit these acts, right? He is so far gone in his drug habit, in his former drinking habit, possibly with the injuries that he's sustained from getting into physical fights with people, etc. That you know, he's not mentally capable of understanding the damage that he's doing, but I don't think that. I honestly think that he's 100% fully conscious of every single criminal act that he's doing, and he just thinks, well, I got no charges. No, there's no charges on me, so it doesn't matter. So he continues to do it more. He feels privileged in that no one has brought him to justice yet, right? And what he dishes out to people, if you reverse the vector on him, right? Because he's discussing my child. This is the second time now he's brought up a child of mine, you know, and my wife, right? As a way, like now I'm supposed to cower. I'm supposed to get very quiet and I'm supposed to just stop talking. I'm just supposed to stop because he's so scary, right? Like that's not going to happen because number one, I'm not scared. I'm actually unbothered by what he's saying. Now, don't anybody get it twisted. I fear for my own personal safety. I am in fear for my child's safety. And I'm in fear for my wife's safety, like 100%. There's a reason why I have cameras at both ends of my house, guys, because I don't trust a word that he says. When he says all this vitriol and then he comes back with, oh, it's just a joke. We're joking. It's jokes. It's entertainment. It's jokes. Like, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe that he's joking about any of these things. I take him, like when people tell you who they are, believe them. I believe him. I believe him that he is murderous, that he has completely, deadly intent toward me and my family and my friends. Yeah. So yes, the next step is I do have to, take the next legal step, which is to obtain a restraining order and get that enforceable in court, etc. Because this is serious business. Now, last time when I tried to go about this, okay, because I did in the courts in Oregon here, first of all, I was so frantic. I was so mentally all over I was in terror, guys. Like if we were going to do like the Scientology tone scale, I was in literal terror, right? I couldn't think straight. I couldn't articulate my case in the proper way. I was just frantic to save my family, save myself. Like he was everywhere. He was the boogeyman. Okay. And so my effort to do that here failed. Okay. Because I probably did not fill out the forms correctly. And things like that. I'm not terrified anymore. I'm not bothered mentally by him the way that I was before. So hang on one second. I got to text my son here real quick. I see you in the chat, Tony. Play nice or the mods will bounce you because as you can see, I'm still not blocked. I know he wants to talk about these videos that he's going to make. Please keep signing your own death warrant. Please keep signing your own arrest warrant, Tony. That's fine with me. Again, make these I statements, Tony. Make them I statements, right? Yeah, make these I statements, Tony. Start healing yourself. Start having some therapy, in your life. Okay, because you need serious help, bro. I'm not a professional, therapist or lawyer or anything like that. But you need some serious mental health help. But it probably won't work on you because, again, not a therapist. I'm not officially diagnosing you with anything. But you do check all the boxes for a narcissistic, someone with narcissistic personality disorder or just a psychopath, a sociopath. Sorry, not a psychopath, a sociopath. Yeah. So, I love the threats. Here's everyone. Please screenshot this. Screenshot it. He just keeps signing his own death warrant. Here, look, I'm gonna even screenshot it. Here we go. Screenshot. Screenshot, Tony. There you go. It's going in the thing. Anyway, see, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying right here. Make this an I statement. Make that an I statement. And don't call me honey. We're not in a relationship and we're not friends. But make that an I statement, Tony. You're the liar. That what you described in court today, you didn't win jack shit, homie. The judge handed your ass to you. Oh, look, more, Tony, make this an I statement. You're not even a minimum wage worker, Tony. Because you can't, you self-admittedly can't hold a job. You could never do that kind of work. That's what you've said in the past, right? Because you're a liar and a sociopath. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't make any difference to you? That's why you're here? Adorable. Adorable. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad people go to look at your channel so they can see in real life who you are. It's the same reason why I watch C-SPAN, Tony, because I want to hear what's really happening in government from the people who are doing it, not just pundits who tell me, yeah, right? Seriously, Hero Light Cody, he thinks that the working class are pieces of shit, right? People who actually work for a living and, you know, do the menial jobs. He thinks that he is above them, that he's better than they are. Right? Right? Yeah. Oh, no, he is absolutely a troll. 100%. And I love your dog. Look at that beautiful dog. Everyone look at that beautiful dog. Yeah. So, oh, thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate you. Okay. Yeah. So. Oh, man. The chat, I'm loving you guys right now. Yeah. This is court on 23rd of January. Oh, Miss Chief's going to be in the house. I wouldn't fuck with Miss Chief. All of you can laugh at the special I'm doing on Nora and her wife at Christmas. Yeah, because at Christmas, what people are going to be doing, Tony, is tuning into a 55-year-old loser who plays video games against teenagers and still can't make any money at that. So he gets paid by external entities and does fake fundraisers out of the 3 fans that he has, right? And then uses that money for new equipment and toys for himself. Tony, you're a fraud. You're a fraud. Like, you're a complete fraud. I hope that everyone that has donated to Tony's legal fund demands to see the receipts, demands to see where that money has gone. Okay, because just because you sent it to his PayPal or whatever, you can request that money back from PayPal and Venmo if it's a fraudulent transaction. And so I hope if you have PayPal'd or Venmo'd or Cash App'd Tony D'Amato Jr., that you request your money back because he's not using it on what you told him. And if he has set up a fraudulent GoFundMe for this bullshit, then please go report that GoFundMe, guys, because it's a fraud. Okay? He's fraudulently raising money, right, for something that is not, he forgot to hire his lawyer, yet he has a whole fund to help him get a lawyer. How do you forget? Guys, you know when court is, okay? It's on your calendar. You're like, oh, court. Oh, fuck, I forgot to hire a lawyer. Oh, God, I forgot to hire. Tony, I will proudly say that I have worked minimum wage jobs, my friend, because the fucking minimum wage jobs are what keep this America fucking going, okay? America runs on Dunkin', and guess who gets paid minimum wage? Fucking Dunkin' Donuts people, okay? So guess what? Go fuck yourself, Tony. Go fuck yourself. You don't like the everyday man? You think you're a fucking elite? Bro, you're a 5-foot, nada, broke-ass, old-ass con man who lives with his mommy, okay? I'm a fucking homeowner, motherfucker, and you're not. So, you can't even, Tony, maybe you should look into one of these minimum wage jobs. Then you could afford YouTube Premium and see me without ads. ZDT must die. Listen, homie. I know you love Tony. You're over there talking to him all the time. I don't know what you're doing here. You're not. I mean, are you just like a troll in both places? I don't understand. I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand how you could possibly shit on minimum wage jobs. There's nothing wrong with doing an honest, hard-working job in America. What's wrong with that? Anyone? Does anyone else have a problem with people who do minimum wage jobs? I don't think so. Well, Tony, if you have such a problem with those people, definitely don't go get gas. Don't go buy fast food. Don't go to that sushi restaurant that you brag about all the time. You better be farming your own shit, motherfucker. You better be right there tilling the soil. You shouldn't be doing any of that stuff. All those people are minimum wage workers. I dare you. I fucking triple dog dare you, you short little shit, to go up when you're getting your fucking, double at In-N-Out and say to the person, you know what? I think you're trash because you work this dead ass minimum wage job. Watch how much fucking urine and shit you get in your food. Okay? Like, who do you think you are? Are you like a literal insane? I mean, yes, I just answered my own question. Yes, he's a literal insane person. But to come in here and like, that's supposed to cut me? Tony, you don't own me. Don't say I can't go with other girls. Tony, you don't own me. Don't tell me what to do. And don't tell me what to say. Okay? I'm never going to go out with you. So I won't be on display. And spit. So much spit. So much spit. Guys, people in the LA area, okay? And by that, I mean Los Angeles, the Valley, Encino, all these places where Tony likes to frequent. If you recognize him, you know what to do. Customer service people, you know what to do. Tony D'Amato wants to come for me. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Yeah, like, give me a break. Give me a break. I'm sure he's going to go live again with bullshit. But here's the deal. Here's the sitch. I'm not afraid. I'm not worried about you. You will be in jail next year. Your next court date is when? Oh, January. Right. January. Just like I predicted, you will be in jail in the year 2025. And I will make it my personal mission, Tony, to see that you stay there as long as humanly possible. That you don't just go to jail, you go to prison. Guys, because there's a difference. There's a difference. Like, jail is like you get locked up in the county jail, you've done like some sort of misdemeanor, and then you make bail, right? And then you go to court, and then they say, okay, time served, $1,000 fine, blah, 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 and you're done. That's just like the holding pen until you get your trial, right? And sometimes you get bail, sometimes you don't get bail. Right? And then if you get convicted like Danny Masterson did, then you go to the big boy house. It's called prison. Prison. You know who they hate in prison, Tony? Narcissistic, tiny, little, wannabe Lord Farquads who are possible PDF files, who like to hang out in children's game rooms, and who mess with women and people with disabilities and children. I don't think you're going to do well there, my friend. That's bad news bears for you, homie. I hope you know how to be a power bottom. That's all I got to say. Like, because that's coming for you. Yeah, that's, yeah. That's your fate. That's your fate. So you picked the wrong one. But why are we talking about this today? It's not the Tony D'Amato show. I don't give a fuck. But what I wanted to demonstrate, okay, again, right? Divide, distract, destroy, okay? So where does this all come from? What does this stem from, right? I'm sorry, disrupt, well, same thing. Disrupt, distract, destroy. Disrupt, distract, destroy. Okay. So our anti-Scientology movement was reincarnated, okay? It's lived many lives, okay, like I said before. So people have been speaking out about L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology since the 1950s, okay? Since the very first person read Dianetics and wrote a letter to the editor and was like, this is hogwash, it should be canceled and no one should read this book, right? So that's been, an ongoing thing for 74 years, okay? That L. Ron Hubbard has faced public backlash, that Scientology itself has faced public backlash, Dianetics, etc. The real big twists and turns that the protest movement has had was when the first Sea Org members defected, okay? And I'm talking about like Hannah, okay, and Spanky, and Jesse, and also Frank, and all of these OG guys, okay, that were speaking out in the very early days. I'm talking the late 70s through the 80s, early 90s, okay? We had a very strong group of people that all came out, and what were they doing? They were giving specifics. They were fucking throwing receipts out there like they were a broken CVS machine that couldn't stop, okay? Oh, Jody, thank you for becoming a member. Amazing. Thank you, Jody. Appreciate you. And memberships are right there, guys. You can grab one. It's 99 cents a month. I encourage you. Thank you so much. Okay, so you had that incarnation. Then what happened? Lisa McPherson happened. And the Lisa McPherson Trust was born along, and on that ride went a few of the exes. Okay. Now, all of us have this same idea when we leave that we're going to tell our story. Okay. And that story is going to be so alarming, so damning to Scientology that it's going to get shut down. It's absolute. It's done. Yes, Janice Gillum Grady. God, I couldn't say her name. I apologize, Janice. Also, yes, even stupid Bill Franks, Professor Cockon, R.I.P. to Bill. Yeah, he was a wild one. He was a wild one, but he gave specifics, right? We got to at least give him that. We got to give him at least that, Professor, that he was. Now, some of his specifics were a little wild, but he gave specifics. And that's why people, I can't believe him. He's just crazy. The deal is Scientology is crazy, guys. When we hear these outrageous stories, that's fact. That's a day in Scientology, guys. It's nuts. Okay. But I think we all have this idea that, not that our particular story is so unique, like we're a snowflake or something, but like we'll be the one to bear this burden of talking about it, and and then it will get it shut down. Yes, Janitha, Mike McClowry as well. I'll be honest with you. I don't invoke the McClowry's name on this channel for a very specific reason. Not because I don't believe his Scientology stories. I absolutely believe his Scientology stories. But he and I, along with his wife, Virginia, and I've offered this many times before, but we have had a beef for a number of years based on his relationship with my father and his claims to know more about my father than I did. And I take that very personally. I don't appreciate his tone with me. I don't appreciate the scathing article that his wife wrote about me years ago. And we have never sorted that out. It's been a decade now of that. And especially since he continues this feud with me when I wasn't even the one that said horrific things. I was mad. I said some things. I was mad. But my brother-in-law, Scott, took things way too far as usual because he's kind of a professional troll on the internet, much like ZDT. I'm sure they are friends. He's probably Artax the stupid horse. That actually makes sense because of a comment he just said today. Scott, how dare you become a character that I love from The Neverending Story? But that makes sense. You know how much I love The Neverending Story. Anyway, yeah. So yes, he's one of the people that spoke out. Just to, be very short-winded about that. But yeah, I just don't for personal reasons. Other people have been like, oh, why don't you dive into his videos? Now, the videos where he talks about the Guardian's office and stuff are actually very interesting. But much like Marty Rathbun, the remainder of his newfound philosophy is, to call it woo-woo would be the kindest thing that I could say. Super chat from Capricious Caroline. Thank you. ZDT disrupted the chat, distracted us, but Nora destroyed him. Love it. So happy to see your well. See my well-placed confidence. Thank you. Thank you, Caroline. I love you. That's very sweet. Yeah, well, Vernon, I'm getting to Leah. Calm your tits. Just hang on. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. But listen, if Mike or Virginia would like to contact me and we can talk it out, to sort it out adults, I'm totally here for that. Please email me at Raised in Scientology, RAZED in Scientology @gmail.com, and we can exchange numbers, we can FaceTime, we can Signal, whatever, WhatsApp, that's totally fine. Okay, but I think it would be helpful for us to do that. But you guys were buddy with ZDT, and then he burned you guys because he's a fucking con man and took the money that he supposedly raised for you guys when you were destitute. And now you're buddy with Thomas Mew Anderson. So it doesn't feel good for me to want to put you. You're not coming in the circle of trust, but we can talk about it. Okay, we can talk about it. All right. So that was the first major birth. Then Lisa McPherson happened, right? And so a lot of those people put their momentum into the Lisa McPherson trust, into that case, into everything else, which again, should have shut Scientology down. That played out for years, right? And then they finally won the settlement, right? Scientology fucking lost that. Okay, but Scientology's still here. Lisa McPherson is not as known as Scientology, and she should be. Stacey Mills is not as known as Scientology, and she should be. Right? And then you had this other little wave. I want to say and this is when some people from INT and higher level executives came out. You had Steve Hall, Jefferson Hawkins, these other guys, and they all did the same thing. They all wrote books. You had Mark and Claire come out, right? Everybody's writing a fucking book, and that's great. I probably, I shouldn't say it like that. Good job on writing a book. I haven't written a book. I shouldn't shit on you. Good job writing a book. Chris Shelton wrote a book. All these people. The start of YouTube happened, right? And then, of course, we have divisive characters that came into the world, okay? And I say divisive because if I say this name, there's going to be 85 chats about, why don't I talk about the truth about this person? Okay. Also, people like Doug, and RIP to Doug. Yesterday was the anniversary of his death. That's still incredibly sad. What's incredibly sad to me is that he died in the same way my father did, and that there was nobody there. There was nobody there to find him. My dad was at least found by, his wife on the day that he passed. It just, yeah. His life was cut too short. That's what I want to say about that. But, Doug was a person in the field who really had a beef with Karen De La Carriere. Okay. Now, when she first came out, she hit all the news things and talking about all the stuff because why? Why was she a person of interest to the news? She was Heber Jentz's fucking ex-wife, right? In the same way that Jenna Miscavige is a media darling, not because she's a bad person. I'm not saying anything about her character, but she's a media darling because she's a Miscavige, right? In the same way that Karen was a media darling for a long time because she was married to Heber Jentz and the mother of his only child, right? And, you know, Karen had a lot of interesting stories to tell because where did she work? OSA and the Guardian's office, right? Like she had spy story stuff to tell. Okay. And she did tell some specifics. And then she flipped the script, right? So then what happened? We have all these kind of like people very close, very David Miscavige adjacent coming out of Scientology. We got Amy Scobie, we got Matt Pesh, we got Mark and Claire. You know, we have a big celebrity leave. First we had Jason Begay, and I guess he just wasn't big enough. Nobody cared. His interviews with Mark Bunker, by the way, are fantastic. Okay. And then we have Leah leave. And of course she writes Troublemaker, which was a bestseller. And then of course she gets a deal on A&E for a television series. Okay. That now the rumor was she originally wanted Marty Rathman to do it. And then he went tats up and got paid off. And so like Mike was the second choice, but I don't have anything to verify that. That's just a fucking, you know, rumor in the ex-Scientology world that floats around like weird shit. You know, and then she did the show with Mike. Now, around the same time, okay, all of these things start happening in the early 2000s. You have, you know, people who blew even before that in the late 90s, like right before Lisa McPherson became public, like Don Jason. And then, of course, we have Debbie, you know, Cook, who came out from, you know, fucking Flag. And she wasn't even leaving Scientology, y'all. Marty wasn't leaving Scientology. Debbie wasn't leaving Scientology. And originally, Mike wasn't leaving Scientology. These three still very much were Scientologists, right? Like Steve Hall. Steve Hall was still very much a Scientologist. Jefferson Hawkins, even in his book, there's some apologies for Hubbard in there, right? And the same thing with, you know, Karen de la Carriere. You know, she was auditing people for a long time. Somebody told me the other day, I got an email, you know, she's still auditing people now. I was like, I don't know if she's auditing people or not, because guess what? I don't ask for auditing, period. And also if she is, I don't really care. Like if you have a skill and you can get money for that skill, her skill happens to be being a very highly classed auditor, then fine. If people want that auditing, if they want the Scientology and she delivers it in a way that is pleasing to them, I don't really care. Do I think it's a good idea to practice Scientology? Absolutely the fuck not. Does it change the way I wake up in the morning that someone in the world is practicing independent Scientology on a consenting adult? No. I don't lose a lick of sleep over that. Okay. But she's a divisive character, right? There was all these, oh, she's controlling Tony Ortega and she pays for his blog and she is controlling all these things. Now, there is some truth to that, right? Mike, Marty, and Karen all did the same thing, but in a different way. Okay. Karen never started her own blog. Her husband has his own blog, the Scientology Money Project, which is actually a wealth of information. Oh, Jerry Armstrong. Yes. Jerry Armstrong was a very big guy who came out, who got run out to Canada because he violated, you know, a settlement agreement or something. And so now he can't come back to America. It's a whole thing. But I would love to interview Jerry. His information specifically about Hubbard and Miscavige is very damning, right? He knows what he's talking about. He was right there. And he does have literal boxes of information on all this stuff. Okay. So you have all these people. And then at one moment, we have all these people who are former international executives come out. Now, there was no cabal amongst them to be like, here's what we're going to do. But they all continued their usual behavior. They formed their own little rank and file. Okay. And they all went out and formed their own little beacons of truth. Karen is in charge of almost every single ex-Scientology Facebook group that exists. She's a very tight moderator over there. Don't fuck with her. Okay. And so she controls the information that is allowed on those pages, and deletes comments, blocks people, etc. That's Karen's domain. Okay. Then you had Mike and Marty, okay, do the same thing simultaneously. They put up blogs. They started going on the media circuit, okay, talking to all the news outlets, telling their stories about what? Not specifics. David Miscavige beats people. David Miscavige is a bad man. David Miscavige steals money. Scientology is a criminal organization, right? So we have these broad, sweeping, very, very good media sound bites type of thing. Okay. Then Marty has a case, right? Meanwhile, I've started on YouTube. I've started commenting everywhere. I'm trying to, start telling my story because I was very scared to get out there. Other people start popping up. Chris Shelton starts his own channel. Aaron starts his own channel. And we're starting to all pump out information with specifics about how Scientology works. So the pressure that we started getting on us, well, I shouldn't say we. I'm not going to use the we. The pressure I started getting on myself was basically like, you can't say that. You can't talk about so-and-so. This person's out now and they're doing good. I'm sorry, what? Like when I would challenge Mike or Marty on their own blog, they'd tell some sweeping story about some bullshit. And I'd be like, wait a minute. You were the head of that. Oh, no, Nora, we're not going to. And then the commenters, just the chats just piling on about what a fucking piece of shit. Be respectful. Be respectful because this guy, look what he's been through. Look what he survived. I'm sorry. Look what he survived? Look what he survived? I'm sorry. I barely made it out with my fucking life. This is not a trauma off, right? So there was all this, distract, right? Okay. So we have the show situation. The show created a huge impact across the entire planet, and it still is today. Okay. So you have Leah's book, you have Going Clear, and you have Scientology in the Aftermath. Okay. Going Clear, the book and the movie. Those three things in combination, because they went bop, 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 right? Created a huge forward push on number one, getting the public at large to understand more about Scientology. I just made myself way too bright. Sorry. Getting the public at large to understand more about Scientology than they ever had before, to understand the crimes that Scientology is willing to do to its own parishioners. Okay. Right. And to see that these things have been happening since Scientology's inception. This is not something new that they just started, last year. Okay. Then, of course, we had the Danny Masterson case. Huge. Okay. Huge situation that a very prominent Scientologist and celebrity, D-list celebrity, but still a celebrity, is now convicted in a public court of law of heinous acts, against several female parishioners, right? See, when the media tells this story, what they fail to tell is not only was he convicted on multiple counts of, aggravated sexual assault, okay? He was convicted on those of 3 people who were members of his church, and that church covered it up. I do not understand how Mueller, the prosecutor, has not and did not at some point during the case amend the case to bring charges against Dave Pettit, Shane Woodruff, and the current president, Maria. And to put them behind bars for the cover-up and enabling of these crimes for decades. Dave Pettit is the commanding officer. Shane Woodruff is the chaplain. He also deals with all celebrity bullshit. And Maria is the president of the church. Those three people should be in jail, along with Danny. I do not understand, even in a case like that, how Scientology, okay, and those specific people involved in it are not also brought up on charges. How they are not named in the civil case that the Jane Does have right now. I do not understand. Okay? Because they are, oh, you're right, Peter. She does have a YouTube. But it's not really her domain. She's not doing a lot on it. Let's be honest. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand that. We need to be holding the specific people accountable. They need to be in jail. Marty Rathbun should be in jail. You know, I'm going to be respectful right now because I don't know how much longer Mike Rinder has on this earth, in this plane. You know, but he's a criminal. That's all I'll say about that right now. You know, and yeah, Debbie Cook should be in jail. You know, and can I take contact with Marriott? Yeah. Sure, that's Dan Kuhn's wife. Yeah. I would love to talk to her. She wrote a great book also. Talk about somebody else who wrote a book. Yeah. So now in this new movement, okay, because in 2008, something very scary happened for the Church of Scientology. And that is, of course, Anonymous. Anonymous made videos. It made the news. People were showing up everywhere in the Guy Fawkes masks, literally worldwide protests for about a year, right? Or it was like 6 months, I think. Anyway, they actually, yeah, Surge would. I would make that part of the stipulations that Surge gets to, you know, cuff her and put her in jail 100%. No, I only worked with Mike Rinder as an associate producer on the Scientology and the Aftermath show, season 2. In the Sea Organization, I did not work with him at all. I knew his daughter because we were friends. But no, I never worked with Mike Rinder. I was never in OSA. I worked at Celebrity Center and that's it. And then I went to the RPF. So yeah, no, I've never in the Sea Organization worked under Mike Rinder. So I don't know where that rumor came from. No, guys, my mom was ex-GO. I was not going to be qualified to go anywhere. They thought I knew too many secrets. You know, they thought I was, you know, a spy since I was a baby. Okay. So then we have this shift when Mike, Mark, Marty, Debbie, you know, Matt, Amy, Claire, Mark, when they come out, the shift goes from specifics to generalities, okay? And we're only speaking in these broad, sweeping generalities. We're only, spy baby, yeah. You know, it's just these big things. Scientology, you know, launders money. Like, yeah, we fucking know. Like, give us the specifics. Where are the bank accounts? Who are the signatories on the bank accounts? You know, how do they take the money? What's the skip jump? How do they transfer it from a bank here in the U.S. over there? What wire service are they using? Who's the contact in the foreign country? Like, these are the things that would bring Scientology down. Specifics, okay? These are the things we need to know. Not, David Miscavige is a psychopath. Like, we fucking know that, okay? Thank you, Captain Obvious. I need specifics. Oh, he hit me on April 7th, 2000. Like, no, bitch, not about you. That doesn't, those statute of limitations are gone. Okay? Like, this is, no. I want to know what you, and also I want to know what you did. What was the order he gave you that you executed that he felt like you didn't execute it the way he wanted, and then he slapped you around. That's the specifics I want. What did you do? What crime were you committing for this man in the name of Scientology and L. Ron Hubbard that you didn't do to his liking, and then he hit you? Like, come on. Write the full KR. Write the full KR. Okay. So, in going through all of my my great OSA files and everything else, I have discovered that I have I have several documents to go over here with you guys. Let's see. Do I want to go over that one? Oh, no, I don't want to go over that one again. Oh, fuck. That one took way too long. Okay. Yes, definitely this. I pulled up a whole bunch of things, and then I was like, I'm going to decide in the moment which ones to touch on here. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which one is that? Okay. Yeah, we went over that one before, but we'll go over it again. I'm talking like you guys can see what I'm looking at. All right, let's start. Let's start with the one that we actually went over before. We'll make that big. We'll bring that up bring it up to the stage. All right. So this is confidential, guys. Confidential. I'm swearing you to an oath of secrecy right now. Confidential. All right. This went, as you guys can see at the top here, to Commodore Staff G. That was like, they had like all these different letters that they were, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, blah, blah, blah. The Guardian's Office Worldwide, Deputy Guardians, the Intel Bureau, and to hats. Like in case you got like a full description of your job in Scientology, that's called a hat. This is from the 28th of March, 1972. Intelligence principles. Okay. When intelligence fails, it becomes a PR matter. When PR fails, it becomes a legal matter. When legal loses or declines, it becomes an LRH matter. Dun, dun, dun. It'll be found that 1 and 2 are valid for all nations, companies, and individuals at all past times and are valid now and will be valid in the future. Number 3 is peculiar to our situation, but if for LRH, you place general manager or head of state, this too will be found valid. This gives you the direct index for precise estimation of where you are at any given instance and where you will be going. Okay? Intelligence, if intelligence isn't onto it, muffs its tech and isn't handled in time, then it becomes something that PR will have to make do with somehow. Let me just... Oh, I want to make it even bigger. My old eyes need this to be bigger. There we go. Okay. If PR muffs its tech and falls down, then it becomes a legal matter. So the intelligence wing, guys, okay, that is where the first 2 phases come in, right? Okay, because the second phase is really a combination of intelligence and PR. The third phase is the legal phase. And what I'm talking about is disrupt, distract, destroy. Okay, so the intelligence comes in to disrupt, and then intelligence and PR work together to distract, and then legal comes in, supposedly with the slam dunk, to destroy. Does that make sense? Okay. Let me just see if there's anything else. If legal fails to be aggressive or forgets its tech, here it is with the need for heavy hussar action, like, Russian assassins. Okay. Each of the 3 zones has their own products. Intelligence exposed is no longer undercover or clandestine. Well, thank you for that, Captain Obvious. PR most frequently exposes intelligence. Yeah. Okay. So right here's the example that was highlighted. This was used for the show. Example, Gosh Porge. What the fuck kind of name is that? Thank you, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. High up ex-member knew Australia was having a royal commission into children abuse churches, and one encouraged victims to step forward. And no one encouraged victims. Yeah. Yeah. Strange that an Australian born and bred man would not be all over that and not encourage people to step forward or even use the California look back window that they supposedly orchestrated. Okay, so Gosh Porge is located as an antagonistic source in the Bureau of Mines. Study Bureau of Mines. They frown on corrupt and bankrupt employees. So you found this guy, right? He's the bad guy. He's your enemy, Gosh Porge, and he works for the Bureau of Mines. So now you're going to find out a way you can destroy him. Okay, so you're going to dig into this Bureau of Mines where he works. And they frown on corrupt and bankrupt employees. It's carefully worked out by survey. Gosh Porge receives a check for 250 pounds from the Aluminum Company of America at his office for tip-off patent sent. Okay, so this guy's engaging in corporate espionage. But they're trying to tell you that every time you have somebody who's an enemy, they're going to be committing illegal acts, which is not the case. But anyway, okay. And his wife runs up fur coat bills at Harrods. Like, he's trying so hard to, like, make people believe that he's British. Nobody outside of England knows what Harrods is. Who sue and a man in Soho wants his 1,800 pounds gambling debt, and a mistress calls his boss and demands the return of her diamonds Gosh borrowed. And as it keeps up, even Gosh Porge's best denials won't prevent his being sacked. So none of those things are true. You just make shit up. Or those things were found to be true because you ran intelligence and found out his dirty deeds. Legal areas, like lawyers, are a point of hit also. Without consulting legal, Boo-Bish-Mish is suing Scientology for truckloads. Survey his attorneys covertly, just like they did with the jurors. Survey his attorneys covertly. Oh, you just happen to be at the same bar as they are. Hire a hot chick to ply them with drinks and get them talking. Loose lips sink ships, y'all. One finds they detest people from the city. Very prejudiced against money clauses. So city blokes start appearing on lines for Bish-Mish. Will he win the smoot? Broker wants to know, how can Bish-Mish cover his margins? Like, apparently everybody's a gambler. City bowler hat. Like, he couldn't even come up with a name. Beats up a lawyer with an umbrella because, oh, I see. City bowler hat. This is one of the working class people, right? Beats up a lawyer with an umbrella because Bish-Mish said he was going to get the lawyer to sue him over blocks of stock. Bish-Mish swindled. Keep it up. Soon he won't have any lawyer. Okay? So you just basically disrupt, distract, destroy. Okay? So you're distracting the lawyers. You distract whoever you can. Okay? Knowledge by broad observation and attention to telltale small signs. Spot an area heating up for attack. Isolate who in that area with unfailing accuracy using files and direct but covert investigation. Simultaneous with number 3, survey the area, hate it and love it. What they like, what they hate. Connect repeatedly the hate it button with the who and put him as the anti-love it. That will cool it off if totally done and cleverly, if done and done cleverly and detected and acted on in time. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Okay. Let's pull this puppy up here. We're going to make her bigger. There we go. Again, guys, I'm swearing you to an oath of secrecy. Confidential. Confidential. Okay. This was also given to Guardian's office, deputy guardians. I forget what the A stands for. Associate guardians. Anyway, all the guardians. Okay. Counterattack tactics. Principle: when PR and legal find themselves engaged in handling attacks, intelligence has failed. Uh-oh, hot dog. He's mad. Those who attack Scientology, as proven by Oxford capacity analysis graphs, which are not scientific or real, criminal or shady record, personal lives, etc., are provenly suppressive. When such people, as is currently common, ascend into the heights of governments or public or private organizations or the press, they are able to exert the fullest dramatization against anything which might benefit others, and usually do. Being suppressive, a kind of word for insane, their aims are destructive. This is not limited to their fancied enemies. They are destructive to themselves and their own government or institution. This is well known to us, but there is a situation in it which has not been solved. When you threaten to upset things with a counterattack, this is pleasing to such people. And they go on attacking as they want their own government or institution activity attacked. See this paragraph right here? This is like what Tony says over and over and over again. You're the one that kept it going. I was going to stop, but you want it. Right? Okay. In other words, one plays into their hands. They want a riot and civil commotion. Also, by the laws of insanity, a whole other bullshit thing that he wrote, they also want themselves destroyed. This is also known as being selected as somebody's executioner. The more you attack, the more such people goad one. It's like they got Tony to read this, and then he was like, I got it. I'm going to just fuck some shit up. What did he say last night? I'm just going to keep breaking shit until I get to the one. Yeah. This is the true principle behind Clausewitz's laws of war, in which attack gets counterattack. Such people are suicidal. Investigation discloses, for instance, that certain persons in the U.S. government continually alienate opinion leaders, so they attack the government. No, that's... Anyway, upward of 2,000 Army sergeants in defense intelligence were engaged in just this in recent years. How does he have these statistics? He's just making shit up. IRS picks a celebrity a year to attack and degrade as an example. Okay. All right. So the ideal scene for OSA, for the Office of Special Affairs. Attackers against Scientology located and removed from their positions of power so that Scientology can get on with it. Any threat of attack restrained, leaving Scientology a clear field. These persons can always lose their jobs. These persons can always lose their jobs. These jobs, permitting them power to destroy, are valuable to them. This is a point of vulnerability. How many times has Tony attacked my employment? At every possible opportunity. He doxed when I was working at Safelight. He doxed the exact location that I was at and called during a live the Human Resources Department of Safelight. Today, you just saw me play a clip of him hoping that my T-Mobile location, which I've never worked at a T-Mobile store, but nice try, that my T-Mobile location, that people come in and kill me over the new iPhone. Okay. If the person's job is not valuable, to him or her, if he cannot be made to cost his job, something can be found which he is seeking to protect, and it can be threatened. Oh, like my children. Like my children. Okay. Counterattack to obtain the removal of the person with a product of dismissed attacker. That's the statistic. Okay. If on a test A is not feasible, survey to find what the person considers valuable and use it for restraint. So my wife, my kids. Okay. Avoid, where possible, the commotion and wasted energy of paralleling an attacker's own evil purpose of destroying his own government, agency, or institution, and instead discover the attacker and operate to cost him his job. Okay? So the thing that they really wanted to do was make these, perceived enemies unemployed, which has been done. What is he saying about Audit? What is he saying about Hero Like Cody, about Dan, about Scotty, about Solomon, about, you know, all of these things. When he went after Vanessa, oh, I'm coming for her license, right? Going right for her job. Did the same thing with Dana, right? When he was going to, you know, claimed he was going to file all these reports on her so she would lose, you know, her license and stuff, right? He is, you know, he says, I'm not Osa. He's doing the playbook. Like, maybe they never showed him this thing, okay? But he has like the learning how to learn version of this, like the little kiddie version that's written like in a way he can read it and understand it, okay? Wherever an attack is in progress, and even when being held off by counter propaganda PR or actions from legal, at once swiftly draw up a precise program using intelligence principles and cross-filing to isolate the attacker. Identify the instigator. When identified or even suspected as the instigator, draw up a project which includes at least 3 channels to cost him his job. 3 different ways, guys. Drop a second project. That's just one project. Drop a second project at once to survey and discover what the person really is defending and threaten it effectively. Okay? Execute the projects rapidly. So you're supposed to do both. Have 3 different ways for him to lose his job and find out what else the person values and go after that. Okay? How many people have said in the past, right, that their dogs died because they got poisoned? The Jane Does and other women who've come forward against Scientology have lost animals, have become ill, have been followed around, right? A lot of people value their privacy. So what happens? They get private investigators to follow them around and intimidate them, cause them to be terrified, right? On achieving success, inform PR so that PR can call off the PR counterattack and capitalize on any information gained if it does not expose intelligence. Don't expose your guys in the field. Okay? And if you go back to the Frank Oliver interviews, he was an intelligence officer under Mike Rinder, right? And so he talks about the things he was ordered to do as an intelligence officer. I'm also in contact with a couple other people who are currently under the radar, you know, who are former intelligence officers. So when I do a stream like this, they will text me, these several people, and say, yes, that's exactly what we did. Oh my goodness, Mousy, thank you for that. Thank you for this super chat. I appreciate you. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? No. Okay. So that's that one. Let's get rid of that. Okay. This is battle tactics. Okay. Let's quickly jump into this one here. Okay. So this is a defense paper on material developed after 18 years of ceaseless attacks by foreign enemy. Nothing in this paper advocates physical violence or invites physical destruction of persons. You guys be the judge, okay? This was reissued in 1987, originally written in 1969, okay? This is written before the other one I just read to you guys, okay? In these days of Cold War, okay, which was during the Cold War in 1969, when actual warfare is impossible due to atomic weapons, the warfare is waged in the press and public in the form of ideas. Now, this is before the internet. So that's where we're at now. We're in the age of the internet. If you uniformly apply the tactics and strategy of battle to the rows, that's the upsets, the fights, okay? We get into press or legal or public confrontation, you will win. The enemy uses groups and meetings of groups like one would use squads, okay? This is ex-Scientologists getting together, right? Forming community, forming friendships, helping each other recover, okay? And L. Ron is claiming that it has always been militarized, the ex-Scientology. It's not even militarized now. We don't even have a formal, there's nothing formal. We're not a group. I don't control the protesters. I don't tell them what to protest. I give them suggestions on what I would think would be good things to say to have an impact. I'm certainly not in charge of them. I can promise you that. I have no financial gain from any of the protests or the protesters individually. Yeah, no, Okay. If we and they are considered as two hostile and opposing nations at war, then a huge array of tactics and strategy become visible. Okay, this is how L. Ron saw it. That anybody who left Scientology and started speaking the truth about what was really going on in Scientology, now we're at war. Okay. One parallels in the field of thought what is used and done in the field of battle in other ages. You don't have to know too much about the tactics and strategy of warfare to apply this, but it helps. The end product of war, according to this guy Clausewitz, who L. Ron really loves, the authority on it is condensed to bring about more amiable frame of mind on the part of your enemy. I don't think that's what anyone thinks wars about. But there are also wars of attrition. We are engaged in one where total destruction of us has been the enemy's aim for, at this writing, 19 years. As you can see, this was written when? 1969. Yeah, people have wanted Scientology to go away since the day it was born. This is barbarian warfare. Thus, the enemy must have had very positive fears and terrors about us. No. We know that you're a dangerous, destructive mindfuck cult. Since he fought for total attrition. In this case, it is not safe to hope for any halfway win. We must ourselves fight on the basis of total attrition of the enemy. So no, you're not going to fucking take us down. We're going to take you down. Never get reasonable about him. Just go all the way in and what? Obliterate him. Disrupt, distract, destroy. It is bad warfare to fight battles on your own terrain, in your own subject area. It's not good to fight in the territory of allies. Fight battles wherever possible, only on enemy terrain and in or about his subject and his people, not ours. So look at the Danny Masterson case as an example. What was Scientology's whole case based upon? That these women were consenting the whole time. And that they didn't have a problem, and that, you know, that they agreed with the handlings that they got internally, and now, you know, because of external influence, they're deciding to bring this ridiculous case. Right? So they're going to go after them. They go after their personalities. They go after their looks. They go after all that stuff. Okay? You can gauge your relative success by this. When all your battles are fought on his terrain, you are winning. They wouldn't allow any Scientology. They tried. Some Scientology did get admitted, but they didn't want Scientology admitted into the case. That's Scientology's modus operandi in any case that they are facing, right? Is to not allow Scientology doctrine, the scriptures, as they jokingly refer to it as, to be legally admitted into the case, right? So they're always trying to fight on your terrain, right? Which is, which is nuts and not realistic and not appropriate. Okay. So what's this? One second. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay. Right. Let's just carry on with the policy. Sorry. So a good general expends the maximum of enemy troops and the minimum of his own. He makes the war costly to the enemy, not to himself, right? This is why it's attack, 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 never defend. And Scientology has a bajillion dollars, literally, to sue, and make you just give up. Even though they know you're correct and they're wrong, they pay for more and more and more and more lawyers across the nation, right? You know, Mike and Leah put out a list of the lawyers that Mike knew of. My question then, my follow-up question to that post, right? Who hired all these lawyers, Mike? Who vetted all of these lawyers? Right? Like, specifics, okay? Let's stick to specifics, okay? One cuts off enemy communications, okay? Funds, connections. He deprives the enemy of political advantages, connections, and power. He takes over enemy territory. He raids and harasses, all on the thought plane, press, public opinion, governments, etc. Okay, this part is he takes over, cuts off enemy communications. Okay, so this is the distract portion. Okay, this is the distract portion that we are in right now. This paragraph cuts off enemy communications, funds, connections, deprives the enemy of political advantages, connections, and power, takes over enemy territory, raids and harasses. Okay, now, what do I mean by that? Okay, so I came back to the, oh yeah, I'm sure he did. Sorry. I saw a message from my mods and I was trying to figure out what was going on. But yeah, I was like, did you guys kick out Tony? And they're like, no, he left on his own. Of course he did. Of course he did. Because he's got to get home so that he can pull up my stream and, you know, mockingly jack off in my face. That's his only talent, apparently. So, right. So let's look at events as they have unfolded over the last couple of years, okay? Because that's really when I came back to the scene, right? 2023, starting in late 2022, you had Mike Rinder start his YouTube channel. You had Mark and Claire start a YouTube channel. You had Amy and Matt start a YouTube channel. You had Janice Gillum Grady start her channel. Yeah, I don't mention her partner on her channel because he's a very controversial figure. Again, another former senior higher up who may or may not be involved in other things on the outside. I don't know about that. Yeah. But I've said many times, if that's the case, if Mark Fisher did start some sort of, tourist business for American sad and lonely old ass men to go and engage in sexual relations with Thai minor women, I can't even begin to tell you the things that I feel enraged about that. So if that's true, that man should be in jail, period. So, yeah. Anyway, we're not talking about Mark Fisher today. So you have all these people come out, okay? They're starting their channels. They're telling things, okay? Aaron's already, at like 200,000 subscribers at this point. And, or maybe he was like at 150. I think he was around, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He was a big channel. Okay. Thank you, Matrix Tech Solutions. That's very nice of you. A video game control. Oh, this is the sticker. Poses triumphantly between the words critical hit. Appreciate. Okay. So Aaron calls me up and was like, yo, we need you to come back. I need you to like reinvigorate your channel. We'll get you remonetized. It'll be a whole thing. It's going to be great. Gives me the whole pitch about, I'm making 20 grand a month. Mark and Claire are making 5 grand a month after 3 months, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, sweet. I would love to be making at least 5 grand a month. I would love to be making your kind of money, 20 grand a month. Like, I'll work for it. Okay. So I decided to come back, and just do me, like tell my stories, talk about Scientology, all this stuff. Things are moving along. The Masterson trial starts. We got a lot to talk about. It's a fucking crazy time. All right. And then one day, Aaron has on this guy, right? He's also on with, I think it was Vanessa. And Aaron has this little panel on. And he has this guy on, Tony D'Amato, Zero Dark Tony. And we're like, who the fuck is this guy? And he's like, I don't know. He contacted me. He seems kind of cool. You know, I think his story's legit. You know, Aaron. And here's the deal, guys. At that time, I didn't triple check things that Aaron was saying to me, right? Because I trusted him. I was like, oh, well, if you tell me that this guy's story is legit, then you've done your due diligence and you know, you verified him, whatever. It's all good. Right? So yeah. And then we've seen everything that's unfolded from there, right? Sorry, I got lost for a minute because remembering the pain of 2023 is hard for me. It is honestly hard. That was one of my darkest years of my life besides, 2002 when I left the RPF almost in a body bag, you know? So yeah, that's, yeah. Anyway, so around June of 2023, as things are really ramping up, okay, we're about to get into the new Masters in Trial. We just covered everything else. We start having all of this distraction. Okay, first he jumped into our little community, disrupted it, immediately started pointing fingers at all these people. So-and-so's good, but so-and-so's bad. This is good and this is bad. You know what got Aaron to agree with Tony D'Amato? Because I remember this because Aaron told me. He said, because he fucking hates Chris Shelton. That's, I mean, I don't, not that this isn't an anti-Chris Shelton show, but that's like a lot of people. That's not original. That doesn't make him legit. Right? And then, of course, he started attacking me. He started attacking Vanessa and Alicia. He started attacking, Liz Ferris. And we were the targets. Why were we the targets? Why were we specifically the targets? He did like one video about Laura FM and did like a couple things about Aaron. And some of them were really gross, especially when he went after Aaron's deceased brother, Colin, and things like that. Like I don't agree with any of Tony's content. I just want to make that clear in case somebody's gonna be like, she's a Tony apologist now. Like, guys, no. So, why were we targeted? Right? Why were the two, and also Serge a little bit, but only a little bit, right? Because Serge came on the scene like a little bit later in more full force. So he's attacking two gay women. He's attacking a woman who's gone into the mental health field, Vanessa, and her then YouTube partner, Alicia, but really more Vanessa than anything else. And then he had to, like, it was like obligation to attack Aaron. Why? Because he's the biggest channel, right? He never attacked Mike Rinder, Marty Rathbun, Debbie Cook, Hanseli Stali, Claire. I think he did like one video about Mark and Claire, and he was like, Mark's gay. And we're all like, okay, maybe, but who cares, right? He did one video about Tony Ortega, who I have a lot of beef with, right? Well, that was later. That's later, Vernon, that he went after Liz Gale. That's much later. Okay. And then, of course, the other big distraction happened last year when the Aftermath Foundation blew up. And then all this personal hullabaloo comes out about Aaron, right? The sexcapades, blah, 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 right? All of that shit, okay? And Mike Rinder is firmly like, you're a fucking asshole, and does the videos, and then Aaron claps back. And then a lot of time, people said time was wasted, right? Distract, about talking about Mike Rinder in regards to his actual crimes, because now that it became a personal beef between, two parties, between Mike and Aaron, right? This was just two guys having a beef. We really can't talk about Mike Rinder, right? Because why? Because, oh, I see, you're just Team Aaron. That's why you want to talk about Mike, because you're Team Aaron, right? And for a while, yeah, I was fucking Team Aaron. That's documented. I admitted that. I was his explainer in chief. And as Aaron liked to put it, he never asked me for any of that. And he didn't because, again, to reiterate, I considered him to be one of my best friends. And if you're my best friend, if I love you, I'm going to defend you at every turn. You don't have to ask me to do that, because that's the kind of friend I am. I'm here no matter fucking what. And then, I started, we had 4 or 5 falling outs during 2023. And then finally our final blow up between me and Aaron. Okay. So the destroy function occurred between me and Aaron. Destroy. Okay. Because the two of us together, okay, I'm going to toot my own horn just a tiny bit. I don't have the biggest channel. There are definitely channels out there that are bigger than me. Natalie's bigger than me. Jenna's bigger than me. Reese is bigger than me. Okay. The difference being between me, Natalie, Reese, and Jenna, Reese is doing her own thing. She occasionally talks about Scientology. She is welcome to do whatever she wants on the internet. This is the internet. She's free to do it. Okay. Natalie talks a lot about Scientology. Again, broad sweeping generalities. Okay. Not a lot of who, what, when, where, how. Okay. And that's because she's doing a broad show. It's it's a morning show. It's hey, here's the things that are going on in general. Fine. Okay. And Jenna does a mix of, cooking, lifestyle stuff. Awesome. And, hot talks with her boyfriend, who just happens to be the, unofficial, leader because he has the most subs. Not because, and he said many times, I'm not the leader. Okay, bro, you're not my leader. That's for sure. And you're not the leader. You just have a big channel, and congrats. You have a big channel. One day I hope to be bigger than you. It's a competition. I hope I win it. But if I don't, that's okay too. It's all right. Right. And Aaron does his Aaron thing. Now he's, protesting-ish, with other people who are out there with him. And he has his little clique of people who are dedicated to him. Right. And I have people who are definitely, tune in all the time to hear me break down Scientology. And I appreciate you guys. Okay. But my thing and what I think of about talking about Scientology is very specific. I want specifics. I want the who, what, when, where, how. And I want to know what policy is guiding that and how exactly, that affects the public at large, the parishioners, people like myself, activists against it, okay, and things like that. So, and I know a lot of you here have been kicked off of Aaron's channel, off of Natalie's channel by mods, because you asked questions that they didn't appreciate or like. Aaron has been very, very careful lately. If you've noticed, he's like a mod on all of his little homies' channels to make sure that he can monitor what people are saying about him and ban and delete people who say bad things about him. People say bad shit about me all the time. Okay? All the time. Sometimes, I'll be honest, I do delete some comments off my channel. Especially when they're extremely homophobic or, just like it's not like a real valid criticism of me. There's plenty of valid criticism of me that's on there, I don't like when you do this. Please stop stopping the tape all the time. Please stop. God, I just showed how old I am. These are not tapes, nor are they videos on the internet. Anyway, you know, that kind of thing. I'm not interested in forming a posse, interested in forming a clique. You know, I know who my friends are. They tell me I'm full of shit sometimes. We get into it and then we keep going because we're friends, right? Friends should be able to tell you, you fucked up and I don't like it. You know, my wife certainly does. If I fuck something up or she thinks I went too far in a video or something like that, you know, if you love somebody and you're willing to listen, you know, when they're talking, then that's how friendship goes, right? So Tony, right now, what is he doing? Like, he brought me back into it. I think because just he's like a little bit obsessed with me and a little bit in love with me. He missed me. I think he missed me a little bit. You know, because the other creators, Dan Walks LA, Audit, Streets, they don't engage with him in the same way in the chat like I do, you know, make him feel like he has like a, you know, a voice somewhere. They just, you know, they just block him. And then like Streets did that great campaign, the We Outside. I fucking love that. That was great. You know, protesting on his block for weeks. And Tony's like making videos like on the ground, like, he's outside, I can hear him. And then the next video is like, he doesn't even know where I live. Like, bro, we saw you shitting the bed. But disrupt, distract, destroy. So Tony came in on a mission to disrupt the entire ex-Scientology movement. And he has managed to do that. Okay? He has managed to disrupt it in a way where a very cohesive unit that was all working together with one singular purpose in mind to revoke Scientology's 501c3 status, right? And put David Miscavige in jail was happening. Okay? Then the distraction came. Okay, we had the whole Aftermath blow up. Then we had, you know, Aaron form the SPTV Foundation. And then that kind of sort of went wonkadoodles. 5 people left the board. They didn't really have the certification for a long time. And then he talked to, magically, George has a friend who's an IRS charities person. And then bingo bongo, now we have a legit charity. So congrats to all the people who donated over there. It will be tax deductible. And yes, they have helped people. I got help from the SPTV Foundation. That's why I have the shots. That's why I'm able to figure all these things out. And that's why Tony doesn't have an effect on me, because my nervous system got reset, right? And I go to therapy regularly, right? And I redid my trauma group. So I've like, you know, been consistently working on bettering this. Bettering the noggin, bettering my brain, okay? And now I see more clearly that part of the distraction, part of the disruption was also this then edict that came down. Aaron partially enforced it. And he's repeated that on videos. Like, I really hated when Nora was just, you know, doing these videos on mic for hours and hours. It just really wasn't okay. You know, and Sterling was so upset because I was talking about Mike. Like, who are you to give a fuck, Sterling? You know, I've still never heard from you personally. I only hear rumors and innuendo. You know, but why do you give a fuck so much about this man who literally is a criminal? Okay. And that's just, I'm sorry, that's just facts. It's not an and. It's just, that's facts. Okay. And we have to keep being specific about the things that went on in Scientology. Yes, Mike has been out of Scientology now for almost, you know, let's see, he left in 2005. Was it 2005 or 2005? Okay, so 19 years. So yeah, is he responsible for crimes that occurred from 2005 forward? No. No. Absolutely not. He wasn't there. I'm sure there's things he put in place, policies that he came up with, ways of doing operations that are still being done because he created this successful juggernaut of, you know, deception, lies, etc. Okay. Yeah, but it's like literally, no, I'm not telling anybody to give a fuck about Aaron. What? Who are you to give a fuck about Aaron? I don't understand your question, Robin. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what that means. Who am I to give a fuck about Aaron? Clearly you haven't been here before. That's okay. Anyway, so we're still in the attempted destruction phase, right? Okay. That destruction almost came about from Aaron's actions in his personal life, right? And Mike decided he was such a threat to the survival of this foundation, which can't release any information on the people that they're helping, but they're helping so many people, and summarily refuses valid 100-year tested therapy by science and doctors that is being used by the U.S. military that would be completely life-changing, okay, for trauma survivors to get. But, you know, they were all about it. And then Jamie was like, you know, Mike did some stuff. And then all of a sudden, Jamie Mustard is persona non grata. They start a whole fucking campaign against him that's right out of those policies that I just read to you, okay, to try and discredit, to try and make Jamie lose his job as, you know, an international influencer. Well, good luck with that, okay? As an author, good luck with that, okay? As somebody who's working with American Special Forces on a regular basis, good luck with that. Right? And then, you know, because Aaron got beef with me, he now won't recommend the shots because, and I'm quoting Aaron, if Nora's a product of those shots, who would want them? I don't want them. Right? And it's just no mystery to me that all of the people who've emailed me to tell me that they sent in an email request via the form to the SPTV Foundation to get these shots. And instead of getting a formal email back from the board itself, right? And they said in their bylaws that the bylaws are the requests come in, and these are the just released bylaws, so who knows when they adopted them. But the request comes in and 3 people look over the request before it goes to the rest of the board. And those 3 people are Aaron, Mike Brown, and Natalie Webster. Those 3 people are all supposed to look over the request. And then they decide as a little quorum if the request goes forward. But what happened with these people specifically who contacted the SPTV Foundation to ask for funding for those shots for the stellate ganglion block, dual sympathetic reset, they both had the same experience. Instead of getting, you know, an email back from the board, they got a phone call. Who called them? Who called them on the phone? Aaron Smith-Levin. And instead of just talking to them about like, hey, I just want a little more information about, you know, like, why do you feel the need for these? Have you tried other therapies? You know, whatever. They were interrogated about their own personal income, which is not a requirement per the bylaws. It's not even a requirement on the form. Okay. And then one person was suggested to try and check through their general practitioner, you know, in another country that has those, that, you know, maybe they could get it for free in their country if they just, you know, wove the system. And then secondly, have you tried weed for PTSD? Okay. Wow. And the other person, again, same questions. And like, what other therapies have you tried? Who are you a non-psychology, psychiatrist trained, not even a trauma-informed person to decide, right, who gets what therapy. A therapy you haven't even had. Remember, you've said very publicly you went to therapy one time and that person told you to get divorced, and then you allegedly started divorce proceedings with your wife, who you still call your wife. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to get it. This is not an Aaron hating stream. These are, I've done the shots. I've told Diane, listen, Dianetics, hit me up, girl. We'll talk. This is life-changing shit. I'm telling you right now. Okay. Here's the difference. Here's the difference before and after the shots. I'll give you the quick version. Before the shots, and I've said this on other streams, I have suffered from a lifelong, and trigger warning to everybody who's listening now. I suffered from lifelong suicidal ideation. And my suicidal ideation was extremely strong, okay? There was not a day that went by in my life that I can clearly remember where there wasn't a moment in that day where I thought of a way to or a reason why I should unalive myself. That's how I lived my life. Even when I was laughing, even when I'm telling jokes, that's how I felt every single day since I was 7 years old. Okay? 41 years. That's a long time to feel like that. Post the shots, that noise, that constant impulse to be gone is not here. That is enormous. Now, the thing about the shots is that doesn't just happen. Hi, Ree. That doesn't just happen all at once. It's like a gradual lifting of things, and every day is a completely different new day after getting the shots. I did get both sides done, okay? And the shots can last a lifetime, or depending upon your job and your exposure and your incidents of re-traumatizing yourself, you can go and get a refresher. It's not a big deal, okay? Did I ever ask their contact if they'd given the shots to someone with, oh, right, shit. I'm gonna copy your question right now. I need to, thank you. Thank you for reminding me, Leanie. I'm gonna do it right now. I just screenshotted that. Thank you. Yes, it's legal in Oregon. But psilocybin is legal. And that's, if it's done in a clinical environment, is a valid therapy for PTSD. 100%. It's wonderful. Yeah. Here's the deal. No, actually, I'm not going to. Feral Cheryl has changed her behavior, but she's under the influence of a narcissistic leader right now. And shots or no shots, when you allow yourself to be under that type of influence, that is going to have a detrimental effect on you. So that's just the realness on that. Okay. Before I forget, let me do that really quick, Leanie, because I don't want to. Oh no, I didn't want that. I want this. There we go. go here? Let me pull this up here. And let me save that to my photos. Oh, I can do it that way. Okay. There we go. I'm asking him right now, texting him right now, Leanie, so that I don't forget. Okay. There we go. Boom. Asked. I will let you know if I receive an answer during this broadcast. Okay. There we go. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay. Disrupt, distract, destroy. Okay. So, hey, Summer. That is what's been going on now for the last 2 years. Okay, we've had all these kerfluffles, right? Yeah, and did I contribute to some of that distraction with my battle with Aaron? Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Which is exactly what Scientology wants, right? They do want the infighting. They do want us to punch each other and not be friends and not help each other out and not support each other. But moreover, they want us to hate each other so that if the opportunity arose, right this minute, would Aaron text me and do a show with me? Absolutely the fuck not. Would I do a show with him if he was like, bro, we gotta bury this hatchet. We got to get on and do this shit, right? Yeah, this is very true. Jake, 100% true. I have admitted that publicly. This is not a secret that I'm keeping. Yeah. I defended him everywhere. When I say I will defend you everywhere, I mean everywhere. This is something I freely admitted, okay? Like I'm telling on myself right now, Jake, but thank you. Thank you for contributing to that. Okay. So this is, something that is, important. Okay. Because OSA, right? Scientology's KGB wing thinks that they are winning. Why? Aaron and I are no longer friends. We're not combining our efforts. We're not, working together. Here's the difference though, right? I try my best, even though I worked at Celebrity Center with the actual celebrities that come up in the news all the time, I do my best to not make my show clickbait based on that, because I think that's useless and stupid. The celebrities are 100% the enablers, and it's not just, Tom Cruise and all that other shit, okay? Everything doesn't trace back to Tom Cruise. Everything does trace back to L. Ron Hubbard and his successor, David Miscavige, in some way, shape, or form, right? Because David Miscavige has been running Scientology for 38 years, and L. Ron Hubbard only got, 36. But he was really off the lines. He wasn't doing anything since 1980, so it was really only 30 years. There were other people doing all the stuff. I mean, David Miscavige was running it all through the 80s while L. Ron was researching the higher levels in the Bluebird trailer in Creston, California, while he was writing Mission Earth, okay? The upper levels. Listen, girl. First of all, you get numbed up. I'm not a big shot person either. But if you came and met Dr. Ryan Wood, it'd be easy breezy cover girl. Okay. And the shot does last a long time. It's really a miracle. Okay. It's really a miracle. And you can go do it night too. If you're really that scared, you can be night for the shots. That's okay. Okay. It's up to you. I was awake, sedated, but awake. So yeah, but I highly recommend, my friend. What happened? What happened with Kiara? Who's Kiara? What did she say? Does anyone know if the streamers got Justin Bateman walking into Winter Wonderland on accident? When, Kiara? Last night? I'll go look at the footage. We'll look at the footage later. Don't distract though, Kiara. I do love me some Justin Bateman. But also I don't think Justin Bateman, if he was, it was him doing a joke. Because have you never seen the Scientology joke from The Bosses? Not The Bosses. It's another movie where he does this whole Scientology thing and he wanted, it was his idea to do this whole Scientology joke in the movie. And it was fucking great. Yeah, he's definitely not a Scientologist. That I can tell you. Anyway. Disrupt, distract, destroy. So now we're kind of at the same cyclical point. But this time, it's not just anti-Scientologists involved. Okay? Right? This time, we have the protesters, which in the majority are never-ends. Okay? And we have this divide right now in the anti-Scientology community where there is a group of us who fervently support the protesters and their efforts to bring awareness to Scientology and are protesting ourselves. And on the other hand, people who either support like one specific protester or none, right? And are actively working, to behind the scenes and on their channels, disrupt and destroy the protest movement. This has been attempted. Caroline, it's called dual sympathetic reset or stellate ganglion block. Okay. Definitely, look into that, or just get Jamie's book, The Invisible Machine. It gives you all the information on that. It's really, I'm not just saying that because, obviously I know Jamie, blah, blah, blah. It's a very good book that gives you the information that you need on that. You can, don't take my word for it. Ree will tell you the same thing. She's in the chat. Thank you, T. Thank you for spelling that out for Caroline there. Okay. So this is the new disrupt that's going on right now. And what's the distraction? Well, it's still Tony. Tony is still the hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime gal, with all of his bullshit, lies, innuendo, hyperbole, and pornography, and disgusting things that he makes up about myself, about now a litany of people. Because at first, he tried that on just ex-Scientologists, right? It was just the ex-Scientologists he was going after, right? Remember when he went to the protesters and Street saw him and he said he was working for Scientology? Do you guys remember that? I want to go over this in a minute here. Let me just put this away. Let me pull that up. Oh, no, I don't want that one. Guys, I have too many tabbies. Too many tabbies. Yeah. I love these little headphones, but I've been wearing them now for 3.5 hours today, and that's a little long. That's a little long. I'm in the search for maybe ones that do the same thing, or I might just switch back to my Beats headphones or something, but I don't want the latency of a Bluetooth connection. That's why these are wired, just to like get it right in there. Let's see here. Let's see here. No, that gave me too many things. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I have to take it back. And looking for this video, there is a video that he did about Mike Rinder. Okay. Because, he'll be like, see, she lies about everything. She lies about everything. Okay, I was wrong. Watch that, Tony. See, I was wrong. I stand corrected. I'm trying to find, because this is more than a year old. This was when the protests first started. I'll just go to Streets' channel. We'll just look there. Here we go. You guys can see what I'm doing here. Boom. Okay, so this is Streets' channel. I believe it's one of his shorts. Look at him and Ted. Look at Ted screaming at him. What an idiot. Yeah, see, these in the original protests, these Scientology guards and stuff would come out in their upstat civvies to try and record them. But one time, Tony came by, to see and try to blend with the protesters. And he said he was with Scientology. Oh, where is this guy now? Look at him. Look at how many Sea Org members we used to see all the time out there, and we see none now. That's a huge win. We don't even see, security guards getting people's threats. Oh, look, it's what's his face. Another character unlocked there. Where is the little teeny tiny hands video? Look at me. I'm videoing you, videoing me. Oh, remember this fucking guy? Jesus Christ. This guy looks familiar to me, but I don't know who it is. Okay, so I passed it, or it doesn't exist here in the shorts, but I'm pretty sure it does. It was from a nighttime thing. Did anybody say? Okay, I'm just making sure I didn't miss you guys going, you passed it. Mm-hmm. Oh, poor Lurch. That guy, remember when he got followed? And this guy was just fucking dead ass following him around? That was nuts. Here's a PI. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. There's Lara. Here's Streets on Aaron. That's awesome. Let's see here. Yeah, I remember when these guys were filming. That was nuts. Where is the one? He rolled up on a little scooter. Do you guys remember what I'm talking about? Maybe Streets doesn't have it. Who filmed it? Was it LA Cam? Yeah, Sebastian. I miss, Okay, I'll look at my email here in a second, Amy. But I know that it was a night that Streets was out there because Streets talked to him. So I'm trying to think if it was LA Cam that got it. They've sent all kinds of characters. This guy who tried to get fucking Scientology to win in court, this is the guy they sent. What a fuck. These guys they got to hire better people. Somehow Zero Dark Tony is still on their payroll, right? Somehow Zero Dark Tony is still on their payroll. Let's go back in time. Let's go back in time to lives here. Let's go way back. Okay. So this is a year ago. It was a night that there was a lot of TikTokers out there. Let's look at this one here. See, and they used to have, look at all these people they used to have going in and out, guys, just 11 months ago. Look at all these people that would actually be going in and out of their test center, and the test center doors were open. There was no frost on the glass, right? Who's this guy? This guy showed up with his magic walking stick. Again, homeless guy, probably somebody on a lot of drugs. They're bringing him over to distract, disrupt, destroy. Didn't work. Didn't work. Streets doesn't fall for that kind of shit. He doesn't get. See, they finally closed the doors. Then people aren't going by because the doors aren't open. Who's that? And again, this is last year, Winter Wonderland. Oh, she's shutting the shades. She finally shut the shades. Okay. So then we had a whole bunch of people. There's Jessica. There's Chris without a Hellcat. Like, they weren't fucking around with the signs last year, guys. Right? It was like weird. It was like Tony rolled up and tried to like blend with the fucking, everybody. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm going to have to, if somebody can look through the archives and find that video where it's a nighttime video again, where ZDT makes an appearance, okay, at the protests, right, with the protesters. It was nighttime. That's why I'm specifically going through like nighttime shit to try and find it. And I'm pretty sure it was during Winter Wonderland. Their streets talking to Lurch, right? Like flashback time, guys, when Lurch was still there. Nope. I don't know who that guy is. Somebody talking to Sebastian when they used to have security guards out front, trying to make it look like the protesters were so intimidating. They had to have security right out front there, right? Nobody's going in there. Nobody's going in there. Yeah, 86 GOP is his biggest donor right now. Yeah. I'm going to have to find this. These are all possible days. I don't know. Oh, look, there's Confident Chris. It could be any one of these. Oh, remember when these old guys would stand out front and try and like talk to them? They got rid of those guys. They weren't effective at disrupting or distracting or destroying. Like, they destroyed nothing. This was a big night. I remember those two people for some reason. Yeah. Streets, look out. He was just out there every fucking night. There's Chris without a Hellcat. Right? I'm trying to find the footage of Z. Anyway, I'm going to have to go through Streets' stuff. Yeah, he was wearing the fuzzy hat with ear covers and a hoodie, a gray hoodie and gray sweatpants and a black face mask on his face. Right? So, yeah. Yeah. That was wild when it happened. Let me check. Oh. That shouldn't have opened right there. Oh, well, there you go. You guys saw that, whatever. It's not super bad stuff. Where is the email from Amy? I'm looking, Amy. I'm looking. I have a lot of emails. Oh, I got it now. I got it. Okay.
Captain Hook for me is indicative of how up for a challenge he is. He never does this.
Oh, please hold. I have to, of course, put up my disclaimer. Please hold. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Acts of 1976, allowances made for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All rights and credit go directly to the rightful owners, which, of course, in this case is Chi and, of course, Access Hollywood. Okay. No copyright infringement is intended. Let me also move myself to the other side here so you guys can see a Jude Law. There he is. He's so cute. He might be too handsome. He's adorbs. Anyway, moving on. Here we go.
Same thing twice. He never goes for the easy choice or the safe bets. He approaches his work with humility and kindness, and he commits to a degree that would be daunting if it weren't so inspiring. And on top of all of that, yes, that was the next thing. That was the next thing I was going to say.
Fucking Scotty. See, now look, I just want to point out, Jude Law is getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. A friend of his is saying his accolades, and instead of getting pissed off, right? Getting pissed off that there's a protester trying to, you know, get some press during this big event by saying truth about Scientology. Okay. What does he do? He turns around to listen more to the person protesting. He doesn't like look at his security and be like, can you fucking handle this guy? He listens to him. Okay. See? And then because Scotty got acknowledged, he was heard. He was like, bro, thank you. Have a great day.
How did he get a copy of my speech? I don't have anything. I'm done. The fact that Jude learned to sword fight with his left hand when he played Captain Hook for me is indicative of how up for a challenge he is. He commits to a degree that would be daunting if it weren't so inspiring, and he keeps getting better and better and better.
I love how he just went back to his original point. Like he's like literally, you know, just going back to saying what he said. But everyone applauded in the crowd that Scientology is a fucking cult.
Early on, I told Jude that I generally...
Yeah, I was just outright...
Right? That's classy. Fuck yeah, Jude Law.
So, by the way, so it's just down the street at the
Egyptian theater.
The Egyptian, thank you. This is the El Capitan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jason Bateman, I love him so much. Listen to this story.
There's another building equidistant between the two that is sort of has the same type of front, and I thought that was the premiere. My wife and I get out of the car, walk into the place. There's like Christmas trees all set up in front.
Right? What building is he talking about, guys?
No one there. I thought, oh, this is kind of a quaint premiere, I guess. And I get halfway in there, just a bunch of guys with black suits start walking out. I think, oh, wait, is the movie already over? No, these are a gang from the Scientology Center, which I...
Ta-da! Jason Bateman said it, baby. It's a gang from the Scientology Center.
I just walked into. So we were a block short. Got back. Thank God the car was still there.
Did you take home any literature?
No. I think they had some pamphlets in their hands.
Right? Right?
Let's play the game. Come on now. This is a game that is named after you.
Wait a second. What's this now?
Is I made a...
Okay. See, so for those of you wondering in the chat here, Jason Bateman thought he was at a premiere. Thank you, Chief, for putting that together. That's amazing. That's amazing. I love it. I absolutely adore it. Yeah. So if you were already a fan of those two gentlemen, give them more support. Let's start an official Jason Bateman, Jude Law fan club here. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Chi. Thank you. So yeah. Yeah, I'll find the other video of teeny tiny later. Where did I put that policy? Is this it? Yes. Okay. So, okay. Disrupt, distract, destroy. So Tony is still being paid to distract, right? So his distraction right now is trying to do all those things that we just went over in these other policy letters, right? To get people to lose their jobs, to get people to be defamed publicly, okay? To get people, also, they want you, and you can see that from the policies, right? They want you on your own turf to feel threatened, to feel afraid, and to react, right? So let's look at this one here. Again, this is, to everybody and their grandma here. Attacks on Scientology. This is an additional policy letter back from 1966. Okay. Anyone proposing an investigation or an inquiry, it's an inquiry, but, he's British now. It's an inquiry, don't you know? Into Scientology must receive this reply and no other proposal. We welcome an investigation into whoever's attacking us, as we have begun one ourselves and have found shocking evidence. Okay? Right? So, what is Tony's modus operandi? What does he do? Well, everything that so-and-so says about me is lies, but I've been digging into so-and-so. I have all these people contacting me who are telling me terrible, terrible things about so-and-so. It's just shocking what people will say. They're awful, awful, awful people. Okay? You can elaborate on the evidence we have found and lay it on thick, attacking the attackers only. This is his entire playbook, guys, right here. Never agree to an investigation of Scientology. Why do you think certain people don't answer questions? Only agree to an investigation of the attackers. This was the big area made in Victoria. That's Australia. I okayed an inquiry into all mental healing. I ordered evidence on psychiatric murders to be collected. Non-compliance with these orders brought on the loss of Melbourne and the law in Victoria against Scientology. That's right, guys. In the 60s, Scientology was illegal. This was the non-compliance that began it. The original order I gave was relayed as, we welcome an inquiry into Scientology. Or it was changed to that in Melbourne. So he's going to blame all of Melbourne because they didn't read the dispatch correctly. The telex came across wrong. This is the correct procedure. Spot who is attacking us. Start investigating them promptly for what? Felonies. Or worse, using our own professionals, not outside agencies. Okay, but they clearly employ outside agencies now. They clearly employ outside agencies, right? Okay. Sorry, I'm just replying to my mom. I haven't heard back yet. Leanie, I will let you know if and when I hear back. Also, I've been on for a while now, guys. Sorry. All right. Start investigating them promptly for felonies or worse, using our own professionals, not outside agencies. double curve our reply by saying we welcome an investigation of them. What does Tony do every time? I'm looking into you. I've found all these things. I have receipts. Blah, blah, blah. Start feeding lurid blood, sex, crime, actual evidence on the attackers to the press. What do all of his videos talk about? Supposed lurid blood, sex, crimes. Don't ever tamely submit to an investigation of us. Make it rough on attackers all the way. You can get reasonable about it, sure. And lose, sure, we break no laws. The sentence is very crazy. You can get reasonable about it and lose. Sure, there should be a period there. Sure, we break no laws. Sure, we have nothing to hide. But attackers are simply an anti-Scientology propaganda agency so far as we are concerned. Right? They have proven they want no facts and will only lie no matter what they discover. Right here. What does he say all the time? I have the facts. You don't have facts. You're a liar. So banish all ideas of any fair hearing is intended and start our attack with their first breath. Never wait. Never talk about us, only them. Use their blood, sex, crime to get headlines. Don't use us. I speak from 15 years experience in this. There has never yet been an attacker who was not reeking with crime. Except for all of us second gens out here, most of us anyway. I don't have any crimes. I am so vanilla, guys. I tried a prop brownie once and I didn't like it. I have never committed espionage. I don't own a firearm. I've never taken any illicit drugs. Yeah. I've passed, a leads check, which means I can work in law enforcement. So, yeah, good luck. Literally anything you say about me is made up. It's conjured from your own crimes. All we had to do was look for it and murder would come out. They fear our meter. This is like, Elron is like on it. He's on a lot right here. They fear our freedom. They fear the way we are growing. Scientology is shrinking. Shrinking. Why? Because they have too much to hide. When you use that rationale, you win. Right? So Scientologists have to be in this mindset that every single person who ever speaks out about Scientology is a criminal, a blood, sex, lurid blood, sex criminal. Not just a regular sauce criminal, a lurid blood, sex criminal. Okay? When you go dishwater, which means you're being weak, and say, we honest chickens just plain love to have you in the coop here, Briar Fox, we get clobbered. The right response is, we militant public defenders of the freedom of the people want that there fox investigated for eating living chickens. Shift the spotlight to them, no matter how. Do it. Distract. Disrupt, distract, destroy. Disrupt, distract, destroy. Okay? All of Tony's content is meant to disrupt and distract. He thinks it's to destroy. He hasn't destroyed anyone yet. We're all still here. we're all still standing. We're all still speaking out about Scientology. He is the singularly least effective shill they have bought ever. Osa, if you're listening, whatever you're paying this man is not worth it, right? I think it would honestly be cheaper for you to try and buy all of us off than keep paying this man. You know my price. It's $500 million. Cut me the check. It's fine. Okay. You can elaborate on the formula. Let's say some other branch of the government wants to investigate us via the press. Just apply the formula. We welcome a public inquiry into that branch activity, like the press guy, as we already have begun to investigate their lurid blood, sex crimes. Okay? It will always work. It even would have worked on the US FDA when they first began their 5 years before their raid on DC. They run, and that's all we want. That's exactly how they got the IRS to bend the knee. We welcome a public inquiry into naming all of the agents as we have begun to investigate their lurid blood, sex crimes. And it worked. It worked. The way we will eventually stop all attacks from there on out is by processing the society as follows. This is a process that Elron wants run on society. Let's pay close attention here, class. Locate the source of the attack on us. Investigate it. Expose it with wide, lurid publicity. You see the same thing in the pre-clear. He has a rotten spot in his behavior. He attacks the practitioner. The spot is located on the meter. It blows in the pre-clear. Relaxes. No. No. Nope, nope, nope. I'm scrolling back through the chat here. What's happening? All right. I don't know who this Private Ross is. Are they here? I don't see their comments. Anyway, I must have them blocked somehow. This is just what's happening in society. We are a practitioner to the society. It has rotten spots in it. They'll show up on attacks on us. We investigate and expose. The attack ceases. We use investigators instead of e-meters. We use newspapers instead of auditor reports, but it's the same problem exactly. So long as we neglect our role as auditor to the society, we will be attacked. Society's pretty crazy. It's a raw jungle, so it will take a lot of work. We must be willing to put in the work as a group or we'll be knocked about. Remember, churches are looked upon as reform groups. Therefore, we must act like a reform group. What happened with Matt? God damn it. Okay. The way to seize the initiative is to use our own professionals to investigate intensively parts of the society that may attack us. Get an ammunition locker full. Hello? That's why they're all armed. When people say, that's not true, they're not armed. Yes, they are. Every single one of those buildings has an armory that the security of that building has access to. The test center, the life exhibition, celebrity center, author services, Scientology and Media International, the Able building, the PAC building, the Blue building. All of them have an armory. Give me a break. Be sure of our facts and then expose via the press. If we do this right, instead of trying to invent reasons to attack, us, we'll start hanging around waiting for our next lurid scoop. So the press will be listening to who? Scientology, not the survivors of Scientology. We must convert from an attacked group to a reform group that attacks rotten spots in the society. We should not limit ourselves to mental healing or our own line. We should look for groups to investigate and blow the lid off of and become known as a mighty reform group. This is what started their battle against psychiatry. This right here, they're reforming mental health by attacking psychiatry since 1966. We object to slavery, oppression, torture, murder, perversion, hello, straights only, crime, political sin, and anything that makes man unfree. The only error we can make is disperse our investigation. We do a preliminary look, then we must select a target to investigate it until we have the cold facts, and then bang, fire the salvo. Again, guns. Don't worry about libel if our facts indicate rottenness. The last thing the target will do is sue, as then we would have a chance to prove it in court, which they are terrified of our doing. Remember, the only reason we are in trouble with the press or government is that we are not searching out and exposing rotten spots in the society. We must practice on the whole group called society. If we do not, it will attack us, just as the pre-clear will attack the Scientologists that won't audit him. To get wholly over to cause, we must select targets, investigate, and expose before they attack us. We have at this writing a long way to go, but we might as well start somewhere. Begin investigating and attacking group. Find and expose the dead bodies. Then work on to our selected targets, and that will handle it all. Okay, 1966. Okay, this is just more proof of what they do. Okay. Oh, I see. Matt and Scotty are having a good time. Okay, good. I'm glad it wasn't some like kerfluffle. Okay. So, yeah. That's the handle. That's the playbook. Now, the bigger playbook, which, guys, we've already been going for 2 hours and 36 minutes. This is the big Gaza right here. Okay. I want to go over a little bit about this because it's important. This is the brainwashing manual by L. Ron Hubbard. The brainwashing manual by L. Ron Hubbard. Okay. Wow, that's going really too fast. Okay. I don't want to see it like that. I want to see it. I want to make it bigger. So we see one page. Oh, okay. There we go. No, I want to see one page at a time. This is going to be aggravating to the max. Can I make it bigger? And then it won't do that. Okay, now we're seeing one thing at a time. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. As usual, technical difficulties. All right, so here's the chapters, the table of contents here. Editorial note, an address by Berea, the history and definition of psychopolitics, Constitution of Man as a political organism, man as an economic organism, state goals for the individual masses, an examination of loyalties, etc. Okay, this is something that we're going to go over. We're going to go over this tomorrow. We're going to go over the brainwashing manual, okay? Because this is another bit of the playbook that is being enacted to what? Disrupt, distract, destroy. Okay, so all of us out here who are genuinely interested in, the end of Scientology, and by that I mean we have to be very specific, right? Because Scientology itself doesn't actually exist on paper. Okay, just like the Sea Org doesn't exist on paper. Okay, other entities, RTC, Author Services, Scientology Missions International, Association for Better Living and Education, Criminon, Narcanon, The Way to Happiness, like all of these things, right? The IAS, they have several incarnations. This is something that all of these entities, these hundreds of entities, and by that I mean every single org is also its own legal corporation. Right? So the Church of Scientology of Los Angeles, okay, which is that one org that's right on the parking lot, is its own entity. American Advanced Organization, no, wait, ASHO, American St. Hill Organization is an entity. Advanced Organization of Los Angeles, AOLA, is its own corporation. Continental Liaison Office, Los Angeles, its own corporation. Bridge Publications, its own corporation, right? Yes, this is true, Paralyzed to Paralyze. Scientology is a DBA, doing business as, held by the Church of Spiritual Trust, okay, which is the holder of everything. You know, and those are the corporations that need to be seen in litigations. Those are the corporations that need to be shut down one by one by one by one. All of them. Every single one of them. When I see a lawsuit, for example, the Gavin Potter, I haven't forgot about you, Gavin Potter, and naming David Miscavige in that lawsuit, brilliant. It's been delayed again, etc. You know, I think they have another hearing coming up in January, but I think it's really not going to get on the books till they said 2026 or 2027, which is really too far away. But that's huge to have David Miscavige even named in a lawsuit. It is time to start naming names to get to the nitty-gritty of all these corporations, okay? And make sure they are the ones that are facing the litigation, okay? Because the disruption has occurred. We can see the disruption. Tony, we see you, okay? We see you. We see you as a paid agent of Scientology. We've gone back and forth about this. I one time said, oh, you're not OSA. I don't think it's that simple. I think you are a paid agent of Scientology to be here. So I was probably incorrect when I said that. I honestly thought me saying that to you would appeal to your better nature and get you to maybe stop attacking me all day, every day, but it didn't work. So I don't really fucking care about, I don't think you have a good nature. So I do think you are a paid agent of Scientology sent in to disrupt and distract. You don't have the power to destroy because you're nobody. You don't have a really big following. You keep getting demonetized on different platforms. And yeah. And, you know, yeah, you're being propped up by 86 GOP who sends you, you know, $500 to $1,000 every rumble you do, because apparently he just has that kind of disposable income. You know, I mean, at this point, 86 GOP could just be, you know, the monkeyer of an OSA agent who has like a fucking black Amex card to just keep giving you shit, you know, and that's the perfect cover for OSA, right? To have agents like that in and amongst the chat to befriend, you know, and support the streamers that are saying the things that they want them to say, right? So, yeah. It's going to be an interesting ride. 2025, you know, Scientology, listen up. Got to come close. Tony D'Amato Jr. is going to be in jail pretty soon, coming up in the next couple months. Because unlike that policy where you guys are like, don't break the laws, don't, you know, they don't want to sue. Guess what? We're suing. And we're coming after him for criminal charges because he's a criminal and he's doing crimes in criming. You know, yeah. We need to keep getting all the specifics out there. Your main distraction tool will be gone. Okay. And people have firmly settled that both the Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation are legitimate foundations. And frankly, I guess people just don't really care about the specifics involving the people in those foundations. You know, they just literally don't care. They've just moved on. They're like, oh, there's aliens in the ocean and so-and-so had an affair and like, you know, this guy's actually an arch criminal, you know, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, they don't, you know. So, yeah, but we're still coming for you. Like, even despite the fact that the disruption caused this like rift between the once kind of unified team, we're all still kind of doing the same thing, which is coming for you. David Miscavige and Scientology. But people like me, I don't forget that easily, who are the specific people who were in charge of those things. Dave Pettit, who's the commanding officer of Celebrity Center, who should be in jail for his assistance in punishing those Jane Does over Danny Masterson. And Shane Woodruff. You're an unindicted co-conspirator in, complacency to rape. Yeah. So, Tiny is going down. Yes, at one time, 86 GOP was donating, tons of money to other protesters. Right? Now he's still besties with Aaron. Right? Aaron did a whole stream where he talked about how they made up. But they had a falling out because Aaron had DOA on that one time. Right? And now he's back besties. And guess who he's also besties with? Zero Dark Tony. Who else gave me the nickname Zero Dark Nora? Oh, right, Aaron. It's funny how all these things just come back into a circle. It's funny how all these things just come back into a circle. And the evidence is everywhere. It's not in my head. It's literally everywhere. So let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. If I go to MD Media 18, around the 2 hour, 30-minute mark, I see the DOA interaction. I don't know what that interaction is, Sparkno. Is that what everybody's talking about in the chat? Let me look here for members first. Yeah, 420 girl. I hope you did. Report him to the Social Security, disability. He claims to be on disability. Yeah, but he's collecting all this other income. That's bad news bears, man. They'll kick you right off of that. But of course, we're not going to talk politics. That's my other channel. Leanie is here with 3 months of membership. Fantastical. Thank you for that. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading a whole other message that I need to read later. Ms. Otter celebrating 7 months of membership. Thank you. Will's Hoodie Pocket just became a member. Fantastic. Gunna Fawcett just became a member. Yes, Leah was a staff member and a SERG member. Correct. Miss Chief just became a member. I know. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, now what? Thank you for thanking all these guys. So many members. I appreciate you guys. KC just became a member during this stream. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. Anybody else becoming a member today? Okay, I did it. Oh, and Summer Savage celebrating 5 months of membership. Thank you, Summer. Thank you, my dear. All right, let's get to your comments. Yes, I got the clip, Amy. Thank you, Gunna Fawcett. Thank you for tuning in yesterday and for finding that humor acceptable. It was fun. DOA will make you laugh if you watch Cheese video. Yes, and I did laugh, Snotface. That was great. I don't know what we were responding to. Fucking judge. Did I say fucking judge? Or he did? I can't remember. Which share says that's the epitome of childish. So lame. That's the best he's got. Pathetic little fella. FYI, that's a life-size tiny. He is seriously unhinged. You need a restraining order as well. Yeah, I'm going to work on that, guys. I'm going to work on that. Thank you, Kakan, for being here. I feel like a teacher sometimes. I'm loving this so much. I love that you're in such a good place that you can go head to head with this foul person that drove you to the point of wanting to unalive yourself. Yes, Beck. Me too. Me too. I was told that he was talking about me before on this live. I just ignore him. Yeah, that's the best policy. Don't give him any flames. A joke is only funny if the other person is laughing. Correct. Yeah. You're blessed to be blocked by the respondent. Don't forget to report harassment on ZDT and his bullying comments. Yes, please do. Please do. Yeah, he is a mod. I'm not quite understanding. I think he did email me, and I'll look at that later. Yeah. Yes, he did talk about that, Nisa. He did talk about doing that to Solomon. Yeah. I love you too, Selma. Slay Queen. You too. Thank you. Hey, Nora, couldn't watch all of your amazing stream yesterday. I already have 2 dipshit days of myself, and then your topic of essay yesterday. Opened a wound about my mom. Too painful for me. Listen, Judy, if it's too much, don't watch it. It's okay. But thank you for being here. Parishioners are members of parish of the Catholic or Anglican churches. Scientology has parishes and no parishioners. Yeah. New channel name idea. Raised to be a spy baby face. Raised to be a spy baby. Spy baby kids. I was at a protest going through Manchester in or around 2013, 2014. A Scientologist was watching until she saw a guy in a Guy Fawkes mask literally ran inside and deployed blind tech. I know, right? Like, you can't see who that is. Anyway. Yeah. Terrified. Yes, I did. We did it. I did it, Amy. I did it. Kellys are also always confidential. That's right. That's right. CSG was Commodore Staff Guardian. Thank you. Thank you. Since the LAPD let these people run loose at the request of Scientology, they should be in jail or prison. Yes, Nisa. Yes. Yes. In AA meetings, Caroline says, even though there is so much hurt and pain we are all going through, our behaviors were so ridiculous. We laugh a lot because we all understand the insanity. The same can be said. Yeah. For Scientology. Yeah. We do laugh about the ridiculousness, ex-Scientologists. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for this. I wish I did have his numbers, but also, guys, he also built that up over 9 years, right? So I'm working on it. I've been gaining back subscribers slowly but surely, steadily. Slow and steady wins the race. When I had my very public distraction from Aaron, I lost 2,000 subscribers. I was almost at 16,000. Now I'm back almost to 14,000, right? So it's every day, guys. Every day, I got to keep building it, got to keep hustling, got to keep, doing this and informing and making good content. That's it. I'll be judged on my merits and, the content of my channel, Gunnar Fawcett says, just imagine if Rinder was truly honest about what he did and how many dominoes would or should fall. Yeah. Yeah. This is a battle plan. Yes. Yes, Beth. How dare you ask questions to Karen? Doesn't like it. No, I know. I do have loyal followers. This is true, Melody. But also, I let you guys think for yourself. Please do. You're not stuck here. You can do whatever you want. Beautiful British Columbia. I'm just coming in, so I've missed lots of this. I'm very saddened to hear that Eric Rader is now being attacked by people in this space. I don't know anything about that. I had one conversation with Eric. It was very wonderful. I don't know anything about the kerfluffle that's going on. So guys, let's not, I don't know why. I honestly, I have no clue what's going on with that. So let's not, or somebody send me an email, something. Let me know what's going on. Let me know. Sterling is still hurting from his being raised in Scientology. Yes. At least it sounds like the rest of his life is going well. I'm sure he does. And for some people who are trauma survivors, when they have managed to build up a good life for themselves, they don't look back. They don't look back on that. the trauma. Because why? Right? Like, fuck it, I overcame it. So, and I respect that, but I also want him to get full relief from that, you know, because everybody who survived Scientology deserves that. I hope it's not too bold to say that I've met my match in badassery. I think we are both badass babes. So thank you for including me in your club, Chi. That's so weird to me with Farrah Short. She had the shots and she was very happy with what it did for her. Yeah. Uh-huh. You have to ask Cheryl about it. I'm not going to speak for Cheryl, and I'm not going to diagnose people because I'm not qualified to do that. And she has talked on different channels about her success and the life changes that she's had about that. So I just refer you to those videos and Cheryl's own words about it. And if you have questions about her current content or anything, I would ask her. Just ask her. Yes, Leanie, I keep checking my texts to see if I've gotten anything back. And I haven't yet. Yeah. So as soon as I get an answer, Leanie, I will let you know. But I just checked it again just to see. She tried to call me out on a comment I made. Oh, this is something. I don't know what that's about. Sorry. My fear from that which share. Come on, pop up. There we go. My fear is that the military will try to weaponize the shots, meaning give them to soldiers to numb their emotions. Not saying that's what it does now. Oh, sure. I mean, the military, anytime they can use something to create a super soldier, a better soldier, they're going to. So just know that's, but as of right now and as of the last 10, 20 years, 10 years, they've been using it to help veterans. So that's the good news. Oh my gosh, Amy, I did it. Oh, thank you, Diane. I appreciate this sentiment. That's very nice. You're the kind of friend everyone wants, always there backing up your friends. Anyone who walks away from that type of relationship is an idiot. Thanks for keeping me occupied. Well, I've had to give finals this week at Ole Miss. Love you. Well, thank you, Kim. I'm glad. Hopefully those kids did good on their finals. Catching up still on ZDT. Just have to mention, I think we all know for sure now, Tiny Tony doesn't have his license. Right? He even said that on his Scoot today. He was like, oh, what a deep cut. How deep did you have to go to find out? Oh, Tony's license is suspended. Like, bro. You're driving a motorcycle with a suspended license while you're live streaming you driving a motorcycle with a suspended license. What a fucking idiot. Yes, Hubbard wrote this manual pretending it was from the Soviets. Now, part of it kind of is, so we'll get into it. It's interesting. I hope somebody gave Dreamscape the iPhone link. Can the mods put that in the chat for Dreamscape? Lawyers and judges want the receipts. Specifics are essential. Video and written evidence. Yes. Either way, Man Butt showed his true colors throughout all of this, and you're better off without him. Well, thank you for that sentiment. You got my first membership that I paid for. You're welcome. Well, thank you. Thank you. Oh, Joe also became a member tonight. Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you. Lovely to see you here as always. Kelly is proudly blocked on Aaron, Natalie, Marilyn's, and probably Jenna and Reese's channels. You dared to ask them questions. They can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. Sorry. I couldn't watch yesterday, but today I could, and I love the fact that more women are speaking out on this topic. I loved, too, that I've seen it. Made me feel better, so thank you so very much. You're very, very welcome. Yes, we have to keep speaking out. We have to keep speaking out. Always, always, always. Questions? How's my mama? She's good. She's good. How's your moms and them? Well, I think you saw what happened if Tony comes back today. Does this interaction with ZDT stir up any of the really painful mental health issues from last year? No. Thank you to Dr. Ryan Wood at Northwest Region. And of course, that's not a paid endorsement, but please go there. He's wonderful. I fucking love him. And for the stellate ganglion black shots, because no. Nope. I hope you heard my answer on that, on how Aaron introduced him to the community on a live. Yes, he has made videos about Liz Gale. You know, real original shit, fire crotch and shit, you know. Did you really think he was going to answer you, Professor? He doesn't do that. We all asked him in the chat over and over, because somebody put in the chat that he has a suspended driver's license. So I'd asked him, I don't know, 10, 15 times if he had a suspended driver's license. And then today he makes a joke about it while riding on his scoot. Do I think the regular SEERG members were waiting for the executives to speak up in detail? Like people like me were waiting for senior executives? No. No, because people like Mike Rinder, Marty Rathbun, Claire, Amy, Matt Pesh, Debbie Cook, they terrify people like me. We were terrified of those people. Dave Pettit, thing of nightmares, right? So no, we weren't depending on them to lead the charge. We were just hoping they were going to tell the truth, which they can't seem to do. Because nobody pressed charges. Because they're terrified. They're terrified. What's up with Jamie Mustard and the shots? It sounds like he caused a lot of drama. No. The exact opposite. Okay. Jamie Mustard is a world-renowned author, a best-selling author, okay, of 2 books and a child's book, so 3 books, okay? He worked and still works in conjunction with U.S. Special Forces in development of the book that he wrote called The Invisible Machine, which I will bring up now. Yes, I'm plugging Jamie's book. No, you do not have to buy it from me, okay? It's on my website. It's everywhere that I can put it because it is a life-changing, life-saving technology that he's put out there. Let me grab the book here 1 second. Here we go. I'm going to put the link in the chat. There we go. Okay, and I'll bring it up here. There you go. Now let me get back to your question here, Jake. So that's and here's the book. Okay, you can get it on Amazon. The Invisible Machine: The Startling Truth About Trauma and the Scientific Breakthrough That Can Transform Your Life. Jamie wrote this along with Dr. Eugene Lipov, who is a pioneer in the area of the stellate ganglion shots. The stellate ganglion shots themselves, as a procedure, Jake, have been around for over 100 years. Doctors have been using anesthetic on the C3, C6 vertebrae, where the stellate ganglion, okay, cluster of nerves is, for over 100 years. They've used it for various different things over those 100 years. It is currently FDA approved to alleviate hot flashes and other symptoms of menopause. It is also FDA approved as a migraine treatment. Okay. What Dr. Lipov noticed early in his studies was that people getting these shots who had been, victims of trauma, survivors of trauma, experienced a reset of their stellate ganglion system, right? The fight or flight system. It reset their nervous system back to pre-trauma times. Okay. And at first they were only doing was it the right or left? They were only doing one side. Okay. And then the theory goes that the left side is childhood trauma and the right side is adulthood trauma. Okay. And that's the current working theory right now, which is why they do both sides. If you have experienced childhood and adult trauma, like survivors of Scientology have, it is recommended by doctors to get both sides. If your trauma, like let's say you had a great childhood, okay, just fucking idyllic, right? Okay. And then as an adult, you experience a severe trauma, you would really primarily only need the one side done because that's where your trauma lies. In your body physically. That is why PTSD is evolving in the medical field to PTSI, which is post-traumatic stress injury. Okay? Because scientists, doctors, neurosurgeons, etc., are all seeing that traumatic stress, trauma, injures the pathways in your brain and keeps your lizard brain, as it's so eloquently called, the little teeny pea in the middle of all of our brains, the amygdala, in full fight or flight. And what the shots do is take that fight or flight and turn it off and reset it so that it's not just screaming at you all the time. Okay. The only drama that has happened behind the SPTV scenes is concocted malarkey campaigns, just like I read in all those references, by Mike Rinder, Claire, and now Aaron, to say falsehoods about Jamie to discredit the shots. Oh, I wonder where they got that playbook from. From OSA. Okay? So this is just literally more nonsense. But I hope that that answers your question. And I hope that you get the book, Jake, and do the investigation for yourself. Okay? And figure it out. Figure out, if you have experienced trauma in your life, I encourage you to read this book and I encourage you to seek out that procedure, however you can obtain it. It's life-changing. Okay? So there you go. I'm sorry. Sorry, Sam. I get it. You can't spell your name right? She doesn't realize that your name is Aguilar and not Aguilar? Like everyone has to be Aguilar? That's rude. Are those shots better than antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds? Have both of them for years now. Yes, because it's... here's the deal. Don't stop taking an antidepressant. I haven't stopped taking mine, even though I got the shots, because that's a different situation, right? All of these things chemically go together to create a harmony, right? So if you have a successful antidepressant that you're taking, even the doctor who administers the shots is not going to be like, well, now you don't have to take an antidepressant, because that's a different situation. You being depressed is not because your fight or flight is on all the time. Okay. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. Please consult a doctor or therapist about all this information. Okay. But I would say, if you need an anti-anxiety med occasionally because you're overwhelmed, that's okay too. Right. But the shots will give you relief from that constant, noise that fight or flight being on all the time causes and that constant tension in your body. You got banned? From where, Lee? Mini Minion, was that Aaron's you got banned? That's crazy. Stellate ganglion block, okay? Or dual sympathetic reset. Okay, and get the book. Get the book, for sure. Any chance of the days getting back to room rates? Yeah, we could do a room raid today at the end here. So I did a Gen Exercise stream this morning. I'm going to try and do it again tomorrow, Mad Drop Air, when it's not last minute. I'm going to not get distracted by bullshit. Has Aaron shared his thoughts with Jamie regarding the shots publicly? Yeah, he's publicly defamed the shots by saying that I'm a horrific example of their efficacy, even though his bestie, who's out protesting with him, you know, in Clearwater, part of the Clearwater crew, Farrell Cheryl, has also had the shots. So it's a little bit of a conflict of interest. Obviously, Aaron's mad. Aaron's mad. You know, his foundation approved my funds for the shots. You know, and I got the shots, and then I got the strength to tell the truth about what was going on behind the scenes between the two of us. And so he's mad about that. And so instead of, you know, doing the adult thing and owning up to his shit and, you know, maybe apologizing to me for a lot of shit, he decided to attack Jamie. And then also summarily deny any other ex-Scientologist this life-saving procedure. Because he decided I'm evil and he doesn't like me. Which is beyond petty. I don't like him, and I have many good reasons not to like him. However, I still tell people to give to the SPTV Foundation and to go seek it out for help. Because it's not about me. It's about, you know, people who need help. You know, I even tell people, go check with the fucking Aftermath Foundation too. Get help wherever you can. Get help from both foundations. I don't give a fuck. You know? And I'm grateful that the foundation helped me. You know? And that they finally got a charter together and bylaws and, you know, are legitimately a 501c3. Like, good job. You know, but 5 people didn't leave the foundation because of me. 5 people left the foundation because of you, Aaron. So that's something you have to look at internally. That's the internal thing you have to look at. Right? Yeah. All right, let's go take a look. Let's take a look. A look in a book. Reading Rainbow. Sorry. Let's see who is live. Oh, is that literally Michael? Or is this a different Michael?
Would buy the product.
Yes.
And, I just feel like
Michael's,
you know, it's
talking
incredible
about
validation
his
for
dog gear
all the hard work
and things
we've
like
done
that,
to bring the product
which
to
is
this
amazing.
point, to have that
Awesome.
kind of
Okay.
you know,
So we've
focus
got
group.
Michael who's live. And did he change his @ guys? Or is it still @ literally Michael? No, it's still @ literally Michael. Okay, perfect. We of course got Scotty, aka DOA, aka Lore of DOA, aka Streamer Wars. He's playing some music that I have to very quickly mute, otherwise I'm going to get demonetized here on this one. So he's here, hanging out at Big Blue. Oh, what's he talking about? Oh. Look at these guys filming some bullshit for gold in fake dance moves outside of where? La Paris. Okay, so DOA is live. Who else do we have that's live here? Let's go. Let's see the subscriptions. Who else? Oh, Audit's not live. I'm shocked, actually. Oh, Janet. Oh, so that's Lore. Is Lore live too? No. Oh, that just means I have a new video from him. He's not live right now on that one. He's live on the DOA channel. Yeah. But he did a live earlier about, you know, these very interesting reports that are seemingly coming out of Scientology directly to officers, which is crazy. I don't know how they're doing that. But yeah. Let's see. Who else is live right now? Is MD Media live? No, he's not live right now. Where are you, Maddie? What's going on? Let's see. Who else should we check for? Who else could be possibly live right now? Anybody know? Anybody? Leanie, I'm going to check my messages one more time before we go. No, I haven't heard anything back yet. When I do, Leanie, I believe you've emailed me before, and I'll look for your email. Okay? Oh, look who's in the house. Miriam, Scientology up north. Are you live right now, honey? Ah! No. Okay, Serge was live earlier. Is he still live? Or no, I don't think so because Michael's in the studio. No, but he had a video from today, guys. I would go look at that. This one is good. The what the fuck is going on? And that's his latest video here. Okay. So definitely go give that a watch, okay? But let's, where do you guys want to go? You guys want to go hear Michael, or you guys want to do a room raid for DOA? I'll let you guys decide. I'll let you guys decide. DOA is over here. He's just chilling. He's just chilling. That's just the two that are live right now. So let me just say, I'm going to give them both a like here. Let's make sure you go in, whenever you go into a stream, and like it. And I'm going to send Michael some hearts. Because I love Michael so much. Let's give him all the hearts here. Right. Give Michael the hearts. And I'm going to say, what's up to Scotty. All right, guys, get on in there. Go show him some love. Okay. Go give both these guys your love here. Go get on in those chats. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see you all. What happened on the flippity dip?